Smile. Breathe. And just remember, it's too late to get out of it, so you might as well go on.
Do you ever get the feeling that people are incapable of not caring?
You know, I'm screwed up and average enough that I could write a song that'll live on forever. And then after that, it don't matter. I am the king of gay chickens.
No, seriously, what the fuck?
Honestly, you're in a memory in your subconscious.
Fuck! Seriously?
I don't know what you've been told, little lady, but the rest of us start at 9. I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. Good morning.
Hey, Benny! Looks to me like you're on the wrong side of the river!
Is it gonna be like this all the time?
Talk?
Hello.
That's perfect.
Okay.
It's perfect. For now.
For now and then. It's something and nothing, yeah. Now and then. We were friends then and also now and then.
I think friends, but like there was a bit, one of them hadn't been back for 10 years and they're like maybe late 20s. So
Yeah.
hasn't been back at all, realistically, left at the end of high school.
Have they just not been back to that? Have they not seen each other for 10 years?
Well, I don't know. Do the others ever get out of Shelby?
Because
The Gaslight edition.
here's the problem with the pact at the heart of Now and Then, today's movie, which I thought was going to be more significant. It's actually just sort of one of the things that happens. Is that the pact that these four friends have is that they're all going to come back together anytime one of them needs the others.
Mm-hmm.
Too vague.
Oh, very vague.
That's what meets that criteria.
Also, it's not stated why they're back at this point. We just see that one of them's pregnant, and then at the end,
yeah,
they're having a baby. Okay, so they're back to have the baby together. That's
yeah,
great.
But the child, like, that's not a problem.
No.
You think there would be an inciting event that means they all have to come back together to solve another murder like they did
Crazy
the first
Pete
time.
is dead.
Crazy Pete has gone on another rampage.
Somebody's murdered Crazy
and
Pete.
he's loose in the town. Crazy Pete's son, Spawn of Pete,
he returned.
has risen out of the storm drain and is terrorizing Shelby again. Now and then too.
The Gaslight edition.
Just now this time.
Now, what's the futuristic tense of then? Because it's still then.
It is, isn't it?
Now and then.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Now and then is in two time frames. Who is it that's saying now and then? You know, because as children they're thinking about their future, and as adults they're thinking about their childhood. Mm-hmm. No one's living in the moment, and that's why there's war. Seen any good movies lately?
I haven't watched a lot of newish films. Did we talk about No One Will Save You last time?
You mentioned it. I hadn't seen it. I have seen it now.
Thoughts?
Loved it.
Nice.
Love
it is
that.
very good. It's very fun. It's different.
Yeah. It's fun, it's different, and
when it showed the creature or the creatures so fast, I was worried.
Yeah.
But then it evolves and it becomes something else later.
They could have held it back. And I don't want to talk about it too much because it has certain conventions within it, which I did find out ahead of time. And it's fine, but I think I would have enjoyed realizing that in the film.
Okay, I knew nothing about it. I just saw the picture and then the font, and I'm like, that's an alien invasion movie.
Yeah.
I want to watch the shit out of that. Yeah. Just the font. You can tell by the font.
I started watching a movie last night because of the font and was not rewarded.
Oh, shit.
I stopped watching it.
What was the font?
The font was sort of retro. It was a horror movie, and it is kind of a retro horror. It wasn't that bad, but I had an evening home alone.
Nice.
So that's my time to watch a scary movie. This is a very valuable time. So it really
unlock the doors, open the windows.
Yeah, open the windows.
Turn the lights off.
Yeah. And wear like a nightgown.
Yeah, nothing else.
Put my
open nightgown.
Put my Ebenezer Scrooge outfit on. Light a candle nightcap. Walk around the house holding a candle and a little candle holder, going hello. And that's how I spend my alone time.
It's my special alert.
And so, yeah, I tried watching The Void from 2016.
Oh, what did you think of The Void?
Well-
you turned it off.
Yeah, because I was like, this is fine, but this isn't at the level I needed to be to make the most of this time.
It does have a good ending, which you've missed.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
But I don't want you to suffer through something just to get to a good ending.
I like the combination of cult, Lovecraftian horror demons, hospital setting was all. It's quite sort of tropey intentionally. I didn't mind that, you know.
I think that
the main character's
problem is it's tropey intentionally, but then it tries to get away from that with other things.
Okay. Oh no, don't get away from it.
If you're going down the road, go down the fucking road, man.
Yeah. If you're the main character of your horror movie is a police officer, and like one scene in, someone's like, "There's nothing worse than losing a child. I'm so sorry that happened to you." Like, that's the kind of movie you're making.
Don't fight it.
So instead, I watched From Dusk Till Dawn,
Okay.
which I'd never seen.
All right.
Tarantino written, Rodriguez directed, 1990. I'm enjoying older movies.
You notice that he writes a film in which he gets to suck on some feet.
What an amazing coincidence that was.
Yeah. Imagine
When you're like... When
you
you
write a film.
Yeah.
You write a film, right?
Yeah.
And one of the
Tell me about
characters
it.
just, for some reason, sucks on a bit of feet.
He's like, I think an important part of this story is that the character that I play, or someone else, but probably me,
I've written you a film.
puts Selma Hayek's feet in his mouth. I think that's quite an important part. And yeah, it has the classic bit in films where just the story stops for a woman to do a sexy dance, and we all just watch, and it goes for a few minutes, and then everyone claps, and then the movie continues.
It is a classic thing in especially adult versions of Rodriguez films. Because, Death Proof,
That's the
same
one I
thing
was thinking
happens.
of. And like, it's okay, but it's just kind of funny.
It's quite fun. Sin City, same
Yeah,
sort of shit happens.
yeah. But I love that movie.
It is pretty good.
I mean, like
It's not scary.
It's not scary, no, but it's a boy movie for boys. I'll tell you that
yes.
much. Having just watched a girl movie for girls,
We did.
we have watched a girl movie today, Isaac, and no shade inherent in that. That's fine.
We've had a great time.
But as I was watching it, I was like, damn, this is a girl movie for girls, and having just come from Dusk Till Dawn, a boy movie for boys, 100%. But I just loved seeing George Clooney in a Tarantino Rodriguez crime vampire movie.
Yeah, not in a romantic comedy / heist.
Yeah, but he's still being charming George Clooney.
Well, like, how can he not?
Yeah, but it's like
It's not acting. That's just George Clooney.
just doing the George Clooney smile all the time in tense situations. Yeah, he's sort of a Danny Ocean, but if he was really okay with killing people.
Yeah, like Danny Ocean, but the bad guy. Because
Yeah.
Danny Ocean's not really supposed to be the bad guy.
No, they're just like,
He robs from the rich to give to himself.
yes, which is cool Robin Hood.
You don't rob from people in your exact socioeconomic level.
No,
You rob from the people above
yeah,
you.
but you shouldn't rob from the rich and then give to the poor because then they'll just become reliant on it.
Uh-huh.
You know?
Yeah, rob for yourself. Steal for you,
Steal for you.
but steal from people who have more than you, not from people who have the same as you.
I say, rob from the rich, give to yourself, and then demonstrate your wealth to inspire the poor.
To rob from you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If they rob from you, you'd be like, ha, fair play, fair play.
Make yourself someone the poor can rob from. And that's the circle of life.
Aspirations.
So, yeah. Didn't mind that. We watched The Negotiator. Like a late 90s
Yeah, that's, what's it, Kevin Spacey?
Spacey.
Yeah, Kevin Spacey, yeah.
Famous, exonerated Kevin Spacey. So it's fine now.
Oh, yeah.
It's fine
you can
now.
Get back on that Kevin Spacey
Because
bandwagon.
the charges that were brought against him by all the accusers who didn't die mysteriously have all been... he's been judged innocent in court, so it's fine. Welcome back, Kevin. Kevin Spacey and Samuel L.
Such a
Jackson
weird vibe.
as two dueling negotiators. And pretty good in like 1997 or something. And yeah, I mean, it's a thing everyone says all the time, but you do get that sense of, man, they don't make movies like this anymore.
They really don't.
Like, it's got action components, but just the script is just so strong.
Like, I watched
And
The
like-
Inside Man again recently.
Which one's that?
That's the
Is that Denzel?
Denzel and Clive Owen one with the bank
Oh,
heist
right.
and stuff. Mm-hmm. Just so, like, twists are great. Dialogue
Twists
is fantastic.
and turns, charismatic, clever people saying clever stuff. And that's hard to write because you've got to be clever to write a clever person.
And you have they contain stories that happen in like one-ish location,
Yeah.
but there's so many different storylines happening because people don't have the same POVs. Mm-hmm. That's just good. It's good. It's good writing.
Yeah. The era of the mid-budget.
Yeah.
Don't get that anymore, which is a shame.
I
We
don't know what I
watched
recently.
Raw Deal.
Raw Deal.
You ever seen Raw
Dude,
Deal?
I've not seen Raw Deal.
Yeah.
Good times.
Arnie put that out in between Commando and Predator.
Okay.
And,
Wait. Which is better for you, Commando or Predator?
well, we also watched Commando. I had actually haven't seen that before.
Okay.
I was like, I've seen Raw Deal. I've got to watch Commando now.
Uh-huh.
And obviously, Predator is one of the best films ever made.
You're damn fucking right.
And I was like, I like Arnold Schwarzenegger. His 80s movies are fun. You know, I love Terminator. I love Predator. Let's get into these. And they're just trash, rubbish,
Yeah, they are.
bad films. And I realized Arnold has been very lucky in terms of his enduring legacy and presence that he lucked into those
Specific
movies
things that were great.
that were those genre blending movies of combining action with sci-fi and with horror. Mm-hmm. You know, Predator is a horror movie
With action and sci-fi.
using the tropes of Commando. Yeah. When it's just Commando, it's just rubbish.
He originally wanted to be Kevin Reese. Not Kevin. What's his name?
In what?
Whatever Michael Baine's character is in Terminator.
Oh, right, yeah. Kyle Reese.
Kyle Reese.
Yeah.
That was
Kevin. Don't know why that's
Kevin
funny.
Reese. That's who
Kev!
Arnie wanted to be when he read the script. He's like, I want to be the hero, and he was like, happily talked it. Like, I'm so glad.
Yeah.
Like, you've got a famous name. Usually, that they get what they want.
Yeah.
I'm so glad he wasn't because he can't act at that point in time. He can now.
Yes, he's
Like
gotten.
The Last Stand. He's pretty good.
He's gotten so much better
great.
at acting.
It's great.
Good on him.
It's
Even
like The Rock. You can
yeah.
see The Rock do acting now,
Yeah.
and I enjoy it so much.
I love
more.
watching someone learn how to do acting by being in films. Looking at you, Daniel Radcliffe. Yeah.
Well,
by
he was
the
also a child though, so
don't care. There's kids in this much better than any of the kids in Harry Potter. I'll say
Emma
that.
Watson's always been a very good actress.
I think Emma Watson is fine.
Rupert Grint never got better. Rupert Grint was perfect from the get-go.
Rupert Grint was pretty good in 2001, and he's pretty good now.
He's perfect for what he needs to do.
Yeah. Just grinting along.
Tom Felton is a very good actor, though.
Is he?
In those films specifically.
Yeah, true. In that specifically. But yeah. Yeah. Good.
It's very fun.
Strong consonants, that guy. But yeah, Commando is just shooting stuff.
It's like the Expendables movie.
And I was trying to enjoy it. And
There is more of a story in Commando than the Expendables movies, though.
do you remember his character's name in Commando?
No. Jack Davenport.
His name is John Matrix.
Oh, fuck yes. Oh, that's so cool.
And throughout most of that movie, when he's trying to get his daughter back and he's just like laying waste, he can't, like, the army is on his side. He's not out in the wilderness on his own. The army could be helping him and he doesn't call them until the very end, and they don't turn up until he's already killed everyone.
When the big action sequence at the end where he's blowing up the compound,
Yeah.
he just buildings and buildings and blowing up. He does not know where his daughter is.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Just shooting buildings. Just going to blow this one up.
He's
Hopefully
just-
she's not in there.
He never even ducks. He just walks around holding a machine gun, just mowing people down.
Yeah, it's like video games in the 90s. You didn't have to take cover. You're just there to shoot things, and then they evolved and you can take cover, and now games feel more immersive because you duck. And now movies have the ducking.
The first shot of that movie is just a close-up of his bicep as he walks along, holding a tree on his shoulder.
A whole tree.
A whole
Whole
tree.
tree.
And like, it's a,
Living
you know,
that
it's kind of
Wolverine
fun.
life.
But then Raw Deal is a really bad film.
That's the prison one, right?
No, Raw Deal is just he was in the FBI and then something went down, so he's living in the middle of nowhere. And this other older got a raw deal, and then this other older guy is like this mafia killed my son, so I want you to kill them, right? And like, there's no plot.
Well, that is a plot,
but
right
they
there.
managed to make that nothing so complicated. I had no idea what was going on the whole time, and it's like they had no script. It's like they were just making it up on the day the whole time. It's like they've turned up every day with no movie, and they're just desperately trying to spin something out of the air.
They just have so much extra explosives and stuff that they can use.
Yeah.
Like they made Commando, and then they had a shit ton of leftover stuff. Like, let's do another one.
I just didn't know what's going on. Like, the whole point was for you to kill the mafia. I feel like you've been in the room with them for hours, but pretending to do like undercover stuff this whole time. Arnold Schwarzenegger going undercover is a hilarious proposal as well, just quietly. That's why
is
he
that
couldn't.
guy like 8 feet tall?
That's why he couldn't be Kyle Reese in the Terminator.
Yeah,
because
it
like
wouldn't make sense.
I'm from the future where everyone's starving and life is terrible. Like, well, you look like you're doing okay. Where are you getting all the roast chicken from in the future?
But they were sending me back, so they had to take care of me.
Yeah.
So I could do my mission.
They gave me all the food for 10 years, and now here I am.
It's like Sylvester Stallone's first few films. Like Rocky, which he wrote, is an amazing movie. It's very good.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. And then he makes shitty action films like Cobra and all this shit. And they are shitty action movies. And then like First Blood is everyone like it's marketed as an action film, but it is just a really intense emotional story about a Vietnam vet coming back and like struggling with life. He kills nobody in that entire film.
It's got psychological depth to it.
Yeah.
And doesn't he bow and arrow in that?
He makes himself a bow and arrow. He uses a knife for the whole thing. He's just like forest camouflage.
Yeah.
And he's quite scary to the coppers.
Yeah.
But he kills nobody. No, but one person dies in that film and it's an accident.
This is
It's such a good movie. So good.
This is what I'm realizing, like dipping back into the 80s and stuff. There's certain movies that have stood the test of time. And you think, oh, I like those movies. Ergo, they made good movies back then. But then as soon as you stray outside of
those like 8 films
those
that are really
8 films
good.
that everyone loves, I'm like, oh, actually, no.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like Die Hard is great. Die Hard 2, less great.
Yeah. But like Die Hard came along and it blew everyone's minds because so many of the other movies
We're
were
doing
just
so
random
much crazy
trash like
shit,
that.
yeah.
And, we're still making random trash now that no one will remember.
Yes, we
but,
do.
Well, we're not.
Have you ever watched The Last Action Hero?
No, but I'm aware
Do
of it.
yourself a favor? Don't.
Okay, yeah.
Like, in terms of shitty Arnie action films, that is my least favorite. And it's a movie about movies, and I should love that.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Okay.
He comes to life out of a film. No, a kid goes into a film, and then they come to life out of a film. It's just trash.
Whatever.
It's
Whatever,
it's
trash.
True Lies is probably the best action movie he made as an action movie.
Yeah. Cameron again.
And a good film. With some Arnie acting.
You see anything else?
I don't know. I watched
You've been
stuff.
busy.
I watched Ahsoka. Loved
Oh,
Ahsoka.
yeah.
Had a good time watching
Was it
Ahsoka.
Super?
It was great.
Super Ahsoka?
Lovely.
You see?
I see what you did there.
See what I did there?
It's a stretch to get there.
Yeah, so it's that kind of repartee, Isaac, that indicates that you are right to put on a 1-hour comedy show. That's what made me realize I could do it.
Yeah, those sweet.
Yeah, so I mean, whatever. I don't really know.
I enjoyed
don't
it a
do
lot.
Clone Wars or anything. I don't really. I mean,
You don't have to. You don't have to. It's
I'll
just
watch
nice
the-
Star Wars content, and we're happy to have Star Wars content.
I'll watch more Andor, which is what I hope the next series is called.
Star Wars more Andor.
More Andor.
More Andor.
Yeah.
More and or.
And now and then, more Andor.
And or. No, it's just Andor, but they put a slash in.
And slash or.
Is that how they named him?
I would love that.
They gave like 2 surname options, but it just says and or. You can choose between them, and they just picked that middle word. Like,
that's
that's
fine.
really good. That's so good.
That's good. That's the kind. Yeah,
Wow.
that's the kind of name that's going to make people be really interested in a whole TV show. Hey, so you know what I realised? Oh, hello everyone, welcome to Exceptional Thieves. By the way. This is a podcast where Isaac and I review and rewrite movies. I'm Sam.
Isaac.
And this is the latest episode of our special series, Turns of Frase. We're watching and reviewing the entire filmography of the one and only Brendan Fraser, the king of film, the lord of the screen, the prince
For the next 5
of the
months or
pictures,
so.
the earl of...
When the next
I waded
person,
out into that with
when
nowhere
the
to
next
go.
person takes that crown at the Oscars next year,
Yeah.
what do we refer to Brendan as?
The artist formerly known as
Nice.
the king of film.
Respect.
If we want, our next episode can be Killers of the Flower Moon.
Is he in it?
Yes! Brendan is in that, my guy.
My God, all I see are posters of Leonardo DiCaprio looking his age.
Yeah, it's just been that one picture of him and the main woman sitting at that kitchen table looking up.
Looking uncomfortable and like
That one frame of the movie.
time appropriate.
Yeah.
It's not an attractive Leonardo DiCaprio look, and I'm digging it.
Well, no, yeah, he got to a certain point of his career. He's like, I think I'm going to do ugly now. I think, what if this movie asked the question? What if Leonardo DiCaprio was ugly?
I actually look when I wake up. That's what I'm going to look like in this film. But still,
Yeah.
I'm going to date this 25-year-old for 6 months.
Well, I think he's realizing that that makes it more impressive. He's like, okay, I can date 25-year-olds, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
How bad can I look and still do it? Where's the point? Only the people that go over the edge know where the edge is.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how he lives his life. He's looking for
That's
the
how
edge.
he wins his next Oscar.
He's looking for the edge in acting. Looking for the edge. Yeah, when it's revealed that this whole thing has been a bit, and he's made a big documentary about it.
Called The Edge.
Called Creep. It is getting a bit out of hand, Leo, now, like with the 25-year-olds.
Did we talk about her Wikipedia page getting updated? I saw a thing that someone had clipped out. The chick he's dating right now is a 25-year-old model, and on her Wikipedia page, that someone had updated it, who is now dating Leonardo DiCaprio until April next year when she turns 26.
Well, yeah.
Wow.
Those are his rules.
Yeah, you grow out of it.
You know that when you get in,
You sign the contract.
You sign the contract. I mean, it's not like he's going to surprise you with it. You know. Can you imagine being the next 25-year-old, 24-year-old, and Leonardo DiCaprio hoves into view? You're just like, well, I guess
it's my turn.
I mean, all right. I mean, I know I'm not getting into anything too intense.
Yeah, this isn't like life altering.
Yeah.
I can spend 18 months doing this.
That'd be
Okay.
something kind of nice about that. Getting into a relationship like this cannot last more than a year. There's a certain freedom in that. You're like,
You can
okay,
do whatever
sick.
you want. You can be the crazy person.
I'm not
if you want
worried.
to.
Yeah, I'm not worried about. Is this going to last? It's not. You know, it's not.
You can use it to set yourself up.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I dated
Hang
Leonardo
out,
and did this at the time.
find-
You go to some balls and galas
Go
and
to
stuff.
some
You
balls.
network.
Yeah.
Use that networking link.
Yeah. Look, you go to some events. You find out what his house looks like. You have a great time. You dip out.
Well, this has been fun.
Does he?
My
get...
shift is over.
Yeah. Yeah. Then you punch your card, and you give hand over to the next one.
Give her the lowdown.
It won't be the worst thing in the world.
No.
Does he get them a 26th birthday present?
Oh my God.
Just as
Imagine
like
if
a
he doesn't.
as like a goodbye. He's like silence, immediate silence, like morning off.
Ghosted. Happy birthday.
Yeah.
As he closes the door.
Yeah.
Throws them a party. Doesn't
Yeah.
attend.
And you just be like, righto,
Throws them a massive party.
can't have a go at him.
Doesn't attend.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Refuses to ever acknowledge they exist again.
You're free.
So yeah, we can that comes out like next week, I think, or maybe
I do
the
want
week
to see
after.
that. I haven't been in the movies in ages.
It's 3 hours long.
I want to see the creator.
Yeah.
But again, like it's something I could wait for home. Like
Yeah.
the new Exorcist movie, I'll wait for home for that.
So much about it looks like it should be great, but I just feel in myself that it won't be.
Like Cloud Atlas.
It's got a bit of Cloud Atlas energy, and there's one line in the trailer that turns me off from
I
the
still haven't watched
creator.
the trailer. I've just seen posters. What's the line?
Where there's the little robot child,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, and someone's like, "What do you want?" And the line is, "For robots to be free."
Oh, they call
I was
themselves
like,
robots.
Oh, I love what you're doing, like the premise and everything, and the actors and the look and the vibe, but that line makes me very worried.
The fact
For
that you could
robots
build
to be
yourself
free.
a world and a mythos and lore, but call them robots
Exactly, I
is
don't
a
feel
little weird.
the fact that they're called robots. And like, yeah, you want robots to be free, but don't like say it like that. Like, it's just too.
You'd call them like they have to have some sort of name.
Yeah,
like human plus.
yeah,
Yeah, just human and with a little plus sign
Yeah.
next to it.
metal fellas,
Yeah,
something like that.
bots.
Copper boys,
Oh, nice. Couple.
copper boys. Everyone talks with a kind of jazz accent. Haha.
Purchasable friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do want to see it, but it can be something I think that we wait for home time. Most of the things are the pictures at the moment. I'm
Yeah.
afraid.
Think it's harder for Wonka.
No, yes, maybe. I don't know. I watched the original one again the other week.
Yeah.
It's great, but it's also not great.
The original one.
Oompa loompa, doompa dee doo.
I think the original's great. It's terrifying.
It is terrifying. Several children
Because
die.
Roald Dahl gets it.
I watched a supercut of Johnny Depp doing weird things in that movie, or just like reacting weirdly to children. Like when it's all cut together, he's terrifying in that film.
Yeah.
in his thing.
Yeah, such a bold move as well, because it was so much deeper in the Michael Jackson stuff then. It just, you know what I mean? My theory with Wonka.
This one, the one coming.
Yeah, well, my emerging theory is, like, I mean, I'm just actually trying to.
The Oompa Loompas are actually just people he's morphed.
No, see, that's all fine. Like, Willy Wonka is terrifying and weird and creepy and gross, and that's good. That's fine. But the important aspect is Charlie. Like, Roald Dahl's book is Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Not Willy Wonka.
The movie is, interestingly enough, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, but it's Willy Wonka in relationship with Charlie. Like, I think you need someone. If you just have Wonka wandering around, just wonking around, there's. I don't really know what we're meant to do with that. It's funny because it's Johnny Depp, because it's kind of the Jack Sparrow problem. Like Jack
It
Sparrow
needs to be a movie about Will Turner and Elizabeth.
You need Will Turner and Elizabeth in relationship with Jack Sparrow. If it's just Jack Sparrow flitting around, it's mildly engaging.
That's why
but
the ones that when they
you've
stopped
lost the
making
heart.
the trilogy,
Yeah,
there's no
you've
feel.
lost. Yeah, you've lost the heart to it. If it's just Adventures of Wonka, then and I think I am worried that this new one will have less of that child murdering energy that we loved so much as children in that original one. This is more like, oh, Scooby-Doo.
I think this one's a musical again too,
I'm a quirky chap.
where like not just the Oompa Loompas gonna sing, everyone gonna sing.
Okay,
I think,
well,
or at least
whatever.
Timothy Chalamet gonna sing
I'm not going to see it.
at the cinemas.
Probably ever.
Oh, okay. What if it's like just available on Disney Plus, like straight up?
I cannot see that day coming.
What if it bombs so hard that it's just
Then I'll
straight
see
out
it.
on streaming? You're like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, if it's the new Cats, then I'll watch that absolutely.
Did you see that the Haunted Mansion bombed so hard as well?
Oh really?
Yeah, they've remade that, spent so much money.
It's not
and
that
apparently
surprising.
It's just shit again. I'm like, that's sad.
Is
How
it?
did
Is it?
Pirates work? So good. Pirates is such a good movie. Made from a ride.
Yeah.
And there's so many elements of the ride in that movie.
Well,
But
what
all
they
the other
did.
ones they do are fucking shit.
Well, yeah, I mean, Pirates took the interesting approach, which I think others should try to emulate, which is to make the film good. Like, I didn't know that was based on a ride for years. And I don't give a shit about this ride. I don't think.
You thought the ride was based on the movie.
And well, yeah, if anything, like, I don't think knowledge of Disneyland rides translates into a movie audience very reliably. Just
Especially
make a
when
movie
you-
that people
when,
like.
When you live in a country that doesn't have a Disneyland or
Exactly.
close access to a Disneyland.
Which, if your movie's going to be a big success, is most of the audience.
Mm.
Yeah.
What are we talking about today?
Today we're talking about Now and Then. I've forgotten the song already.
Then
Now and then.
Now and then.
We were friends then and still now.
Now and then.
Then and now.
Now and then.
Yeah.
Come on, Bobby, let's go party. Now and then.
Now and then.
Now and then. Christina Ricci.
Yeah. Rosie O'Donnell. Then she was Christina Ricci. Now she's Rosie O'Donnell. Oh, yeah.
Now and then. It does actually. The song does
now
sound
and
like,
then. That's the ending.
like the theme song for a sitcom.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah. And kind of.
The
don't know if
film
it's
doesn't have
sitcom
sitcom energy.
No.
It could.
But, yeah.
Because it would be cool if you made a sitcom called Now and Then and you had 4 actresses and 4 actresses playing each other.
Yeah.
And like in present day, you have their little adventure that they're going up to, but it refers to something that they did as kids. Mm-hmm. And you get that instead of having flashbacks of those actors doing something that they did,
Yeah.
the kids do it.
Yeah.
Because all of How I Met Your Mother is flashbacks, the whole thing.
Oh, right. They could, yeah. If this
But
was How I Met Your Mother style.
like them showing them meeting of Barney and it's just them, you have them as like actual kids doing
Yeah.
stuff.
But I feel like as a TV show, this is like a Disney show for children.
Or
Whereas this,
like Family Ties.
this is a drama for teens or people that are coming of age. Because this is a coming of age film, Isaac.
is.
I don't know if
They
you know.
do
You asked me
come-
at one point, what genre is this?
They
I'll tell
age.
you. It's coming of age. You know, that kind of movie. But this movie boldly asked the question, what if coming of age, but it's all girls?
And what if you're coming of age, but it also teases several other things that don't happen?
Yeah, what if coming of age, but you keep getting...
You expect it to be something that it's not.
You feel like there's a Stephen King story around the corner the entire time, but it just never really eventuates, and it's actually just real life, and you're like, oh.
Which is basically what real life is all the time. Every now and then I'll see a shadow that looks terrifying, but it'll
Yeah.
turn out to be some clothes.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
Just
that's,
my
that's
clothes.
disappointing.
Yeah. Yeah, my childhood was like that as well. I mean, in this, they do get a little bit of a mystery to look at.
Is this it? Is
Yeah.
this it?
Yeah.
Have I finally found something to... Oh, well, never mind.
Didn't you have that as a child? Just wishing you could have a mystery?
Yeah.
Because every story you read and watch and hear is always about kids having a mystery to solve of some kind.
Goosebumps.
Supernatural or otherwise, just something to look into. You've just got, you know, they've got a project. They get up in the morning and there's something to look into that, like, a parent didn't give them to do. It's not for school. You find your own passion project and you work on it with your mates. That's what these girls have. And I wanted that so... To this day, I've never found it.
I also feel as though most of these things are made in places where the children population is quite small. So, like, you know
Small
every other
towns
kid.
and
So I
stuff.
feel like... But when we were kids riding around town, there were many, many children we did not know.
In
So you
larger
can't-
urban centres.
Yeah, so you can't really
It was
have,
hard,
like, battles against this guy's mates when this guy's mates may never actually cross paths with you.
and it's harder just to get a handle on a mystery. It's like, where do you start? It's just like,
Yeah.
when there's thousands of people around.
Yeah, libraries are uncool now.
Yeah. There's no, like, big, dusty, old
Newspaper collections.
newspaper cutting section.
I wish there was.
Yeah. I'd be in there like a shot, just looking for mysteries. This is why true crime is so big now. It's
Because
everyone...
nobody got this in their real life.
Yeah, it's everyone getting to live their childhood dream of having a little mystery to look into. Except it's a horrific murder and it's real, and you make
Or the
content out
disappearance
of
of a
people's
child
sadness.
that never got solved.
Yeah, that's
and
a
that
good-
child is somewhere actually listening to the podcast.
That's
Or
a
the
good
person who
one.
took them is listening to the podcast, just
That's
chuckling.
a good one. Yeah,
They'll never find me. And then their name is mentioned, like, fuck.
yeah. Well, Now and Then. The now is 1995, I think.
Yeah.
And the then is 1970, and and the 1970 it does very clearly take place in a world in which, as far as everyone is concerned, child murderers do not exist. These
Just
children,
like the 70s.
yeah, these children, like, it was like another 10 years before they even put like a missing child on a milk carton. You know, I'm fascinated by that point but like predominantly like American history, where at a certain point they were like, you know, we should do something about all these kids that keep disappearing. We should probably put a bit more effort into this and see if we can find some of them.
Put an alert out, Amber, just to be like, hey,
Amber,
kids,
what do you think?
name it after me.
Yeah, and
Oh my god.
and yeah, everyone just, I guess, just assumed that child murders didn't happen. And then whenever they found a child murder, they'd always be like, "How many have you murdered?" Like, "Oh, I don't know, like 100," you know, like because there was just. No one really looked into it. There was more of a kids go missing sometimes attitude that we've really retreated from.
You go down that rabbit hole of just Googling various murderers and stats and shit.
Yeah.
Like the worst murderers or like mass murderers in like America or Australia kill maybe 70 people. Max, in their lifetime.
Yep, something like that.
They're like none of it's proven, but they are
there's always
rumored. The theory is that they killed these 70 people because we can relate them, yada yada yada.
And there's always one guy with like 180.
There's some dude in Brazil who killed like 300 children. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
How?
Just blowing out everyone's stats.
Yeah. Just like bumping up the average.
Just a real outlier. ruining the graph. Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, no murders take place in this, no matter how likely it appears, given some of the
one murder behaviors. Is referred to and investigated by the children for
True,
some
actually.
reason. For some reason.
Murders happen in the past. Now, I was confused because, if anyone who hasn't seen this, there's 4 characters. We see them all as adults at the start, and then the whole movie is kind of like a flashback to them as children. On the front cover of the DVD, it's all the adult actors and child actors together, like with their arms around each other. So I thought it was just like a big group of people, but it's not. They're
like all their mothers and all their daughters.
Yeah, I got mother and daughter vibes, but actually it's them with their various thens and nows. Yeah. And
God, could you imagine if you made a film about mothers and daughters, but it was framed for the first half as being 2 different stories taking place? But then you got revealed you met one at the same time. It's like, oh shit, that's her mom.
Yeah.
That would be kind of cool.
The whole thing is like Crazy Stupid Love.
The whole thing is like Crazy Stupid Love.
Yeah. Crazy Stupid Love times 4.
What a film.
But it's all women.
Oh.
Much like this movie. What if it was all women? Now, Isaac, did you like Now and Then?
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing really to not like about Now and Then. Like, it's not bad.
It's not bad, is it? It's like,
it's not great.
No.
But there's nothing bad about it.
I think, it's not for me.
It's not something we need to watch again.
It's not made for me, and it's not aimed at me, and that's fine. So that made it a pretty hard watch for me, to be honest. I don't know if maybe I don't particularly like coming of age
or children
stories or children. Just like kids just like hanging around. See, Stranger Things, shit's happening. I mean, talk about
constantly.
Talk about mysteries to solve.
They are solving a mystery, just like these girls.
They are solving mysteries, but like their lives are on the line, and ultimately the world. But
it does turn out to be the world. Yeah.
But it does turn out to be the world. But there's still lots of vibing and coming of age stuff and romance between, pubescent romance, like, ooh, they like each other, and they have life struggles to do with parents and bullies and whatever. So this sort of, I think that's why we kept looking for the Stephen King plot to start.
I was so excited about it.
It really is sort of hinting at
So were the girls.
Yeah, some sort of supernatural element was going to come in.
They were excited about it too.
Yeah, but it never happened. And, in another way, which it's the opposite of From Dusk Till Dawn, which is a boys' movie for boys. And the vampires show up in that like after halfway through the movie. It's kind of an afterthought. Here, kept waiting for vampires to show up. Never does. I guess girls don't want vampires in their movies.
Maybe they don't.
Unless it's Robert Pattinson. It took them another like 10, 15 years to crack the code. and realize
Buffy was happening at the same time as this.
True, actually, girls
So
have
then
always liked
maybe they're like,
vampires.
let's tease vampires because people want it, but let's not give them vampires.
Is
They're
Angel a
edgy.
vampire or is he an angel?
Angel's a vampire.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so they're like
But
sexy vampires.
I think Angel has some sort of difference about it. I don't know. I honestly didn't watch it.
No, he got his own show, didn't he?
Yeah,
For multiple
a few
seasons.
seasons actually.
What's going on there?
It's Booth.
No shade, I'm sure it's great. This coming of age comedy drama film. See, I've got nothing really to say about it. Directed by Leslie Linker Glatter,
Oh,
heck of a name,
wow.
who is primarily known for her work on Mad Men and Homeland.
Primarily known for her work on this. And
Nah, love Homeland. She's for those two shows she has received 8 Emmy nominations,
jeez, but didn't win.
but no wins. Wouldn't that drive you up the fucking wall?
It just keep nominating. I'll come back again, I guess.
Yeah.
But after the 4th one, you're like, maybe they're just doing this out of pity because they
Yeah.
couldn't get enough people to come to the event.
Maybe
It's all bureaucracy.
maybe that's their approach of, because there's always dipping interest in those award ceremonies, isn't it? They're like, let's just do 20 nominees per category. That'll get people in.
Every film is nominated.
Everyone's
Everyone
nominated.
can win.
If
Vote.
you're on a screen, you're nominated.
What? Imagine though.
That'd be fun.
If everyone was nominated, and then one film has this one TikTok star who has like billions of followers, who was terrible,
Yeah.
and then that person just wins because they all fucking load in, they all vote.
Let's do that. I think one year they need to do like the Oscars. No nominees. Anyone can vote. It's just Idol. Just do it like American Idol.
You just pick a rando.
Is that People's Choice Award? Who are the people that vote for a People's Choice Award?
I assume
Because
they
one of
just-
the characters receives one in this film.
I assume that they just
The
like,
people?
Do a,
How did you
do a
vote on
survey
that?
of 100 people at a mall somewhere,
Is that
or
yeah?
several malls.
Well, yeah. Like in the 90s, how are you voting on a People's Choice?
It's literally just a desk somewhere, or just someone with a clipboard saying, "Hey, did you see these movies?" No,
They just
never
do.
mind. Move along.
They
you
just
look
do-
like a young upcoming young person. Would you? What did you see these movies?
Just upcoming young. You're not an up and coming person. Looks like you'll be a person soon. Did you like Mad Men?
Are you shopping? Oh, here, sign this form for a free Coke voucher.
What do you say?
They probably did them at cinemas.
Maybe.
Have you ever had to fill out a form at a cinema?
No, and I would refuse to if someone offered.
I've watched
What?
several films, and then afterwards, when we're leaving, there's a few people there with their iPads going, "Hey, how did you think of the movie?"
True. Yeah, I've
Would you
seen
like
the
to
iPad
answer some of
people.
these ones? Answer some of these. I like it. I have a good time.
No, I'm not doing that.
Why not? Oh, you get to feel like a film reviewer. It's like having a podcast where you talk about films,
Yeah.
new films,
I was gonna say, I think
not films from 1994.
I really feel like I do enough film reviewing for no point, as it is, without succumbing to the will of the iPad people.
The iPad people.
Written by L. Marlene King, or I. Marlene King, more likely, who's mostly known as the showrunner for Pretty Little Liars, which I've heard of. That's something, isn't it?
It is something.
I think that's one of those.
Something I haven't watched, but
Yeah.
something.
It's something. This film received unfavorable reviews upon release,
What a shame.
but was a box office success, grossing $37.5 million against a $12 million budget
Dude, in the 90s.
in the 90s. So that's a chunk of change. Is that Brendan's highest grossing film so far?
Quite likely.
Could be. Encino Man got 40.
Oh.
So this nearly got as much money as Encino Man.
Well, Encino Man did sort of fail and became a cult thing later.
Well, funny you say that. This is considered a cult classic now, apparently, as well.
Now and then.
For its not then, but now, for its depiction of girlhood and centering on female friendships. I do feel like the cult classic moniker
It's given away too much.
like, what are the rules?
Yeah. It's like if 10 people really like this movie, cult classic right there.
Just if anyone remembers a film
It's a cult classic.
20 years later, they're like, well, it must be a cult classic because that's the only way a film stays in people's minds.
My thing on cult classic films is I expect them to be good. Like, it could have
Yeah.
failed at the time, but if it's a cult classic,
Well, no,
I want to go back to it and be like, this is actually surprisingly good.
I think cult classic movies can be bad, but people have an affection for them.
Like The Room?
Like The Room, but yeah, I think there's a lot of... There's those movies that people have been putting on as a joke for 20 years.
Like The Room?
That's a cult classic, yeah. Or people watch
Like
it
Rocky
high,
Horror.
or... Yeah, I guess.
Has never been my thing.
Haven't seen it.
Yeah, I think we've talked about
We've talked about that. Yeah. I haven't seen many films, like I said.
Mm.
I'm not really a film guy. That's what I'm
I
realizing.
don't see a lot of those.
I don't think
I don't have the time.
I don't think I like them. So Now and Then is about these 4 girls. They live in Shelby, Indiana.
In a purpose-built suburb called the Gaslight Edition.
Yeah, which is so funny now that term has been repopularized to mean what it means. I can't find an application of it to this story that's funny, but just to live in the Gaslight neighborhood.
I just
Or
think
do
about
you?
the fact that those gas lights, the neighborhood is full of actual gas lanterns.
Yeah,
Gas costs money.
lovely.
This is an expensive neighborhood to live in.
Yeah, it must be. Yeah, well, they're pretty.
Those gas lights are running all night, every night.
They're pretty nice houses. Yeah. Oh, I wish we still had gas lights.
I mean, you can get them,
Yeah, I know, but
well,
I don't want to maintain them. I just want to live in a society.
you need to have a Lin-Manuel Miranda character from the new Mary Poppins movie to come and light them and turn them off every night.
Yeah, or Dick Van Dyke. He's still going.
He is still going, but
He's
he's
fine.
He's not a lamplighter. He's a chimney sweep.
Yeah, but
Lin-Manuel
potato.
lamplighter.
It's still stuff on
It's
long
basically
sticks.
the same.
Yeah.
No, they have ladders. Lin-Manuel has a ladder.
Oh, okay.
Dick Van Dyke gets a long stick.
You ever seen someone cleaning a traffic light?
No.
Speaking of ladders and sticks and stuff people do on the street. Saw that the other night.
At night time?
At a certain point, people go out with little ladders and a little van, and they get up with a little brush and they clean the traffic lights.
Oh, that's so cool.
Good on them.
That's awesome.
And that's what keeps civilization going.
That is a fairy tale job right now. That's like,
I guess.
you could make a movie about that. You wouldn't see it, but you could make a movie.
I wouldn't
about
see it. I don't really see movies. And in Shelby, Indiana, so yeah, this movie boldly asks the question, what if there was no it monster and everyone just sort of vibed?
Yep.
And they went to where the it monster is, but instead they just die from natural causes. The kids are playing. There's lots of bikes. We start in their childhood. There's that golden haze over everything, like how you remember your childhood. They're playing Red Rover. I loved that game.
Yeah. I loved the game, the version that we played.
How did you
I don't
play
like
it?
what these guys played with.
That's where you
holding hands.
You
and
hold
shit.
hands in 2 rows, and they say Red Rover, I send blah blah over. So each team picks someone on the other side, and then they run over, and you have to try and run through and break the handhold.
See,
And
we
break
never
through
had
break
the
through the
handholding.
line.
Ours was
Knives.
Ours was like one person started as it, and then the line of people, and then you call someone, and then they run. You got to tag them, and if you tag them, they're also it with you, and then the line of people.
Or like the line of people have to tag them.
No, the line of people have to get past without getting tagged, and if you get tagged, you're it, and then the rest of the line until there's one person remaining. And they're like, well, it's your go, Tony, and Tony's got to try and dodge everybody to get to the other side,
Right.
without getting it. Like,
That's a more dynamic game. Yeah.
it was cool.
Yeah.
I love.
But I
stuff.
played the version they're playing. We have to run through the line. I would obliterate them, mate.
If you're holding hands with your bro,
Yeah.
you just do that forearm grip.
You're doing wrist to wrist.
Wrist to wrist grip.
Wouldn't stop me. Wouldn't stop me. I was big as well when we were kids.
Okay.
I was that big kid.
What if those wrist to wrists like come up under your chin?
Nah. You get them so it hits your full stomach, and then you just lay down. You hit them full speed,
So
and
they
you
have to let go.
and you intentionally aim towards the ground. and if they don't let go, both those arms just getting ripped out of their sockets, mate. That's Red Rover.
It seems.
It's not red till someone's arm's been ripped off. That's what I would say. And they would go, all right, Sam, that's enough. And I would go, let's play it again.
I want another one.
And so they all grow up into different famous... Yeah, I talked a lot like Venom as a child. They all grow up into different famous actors that are successful at different things. One of them's an actor. She's got People's Choice Award. One of them's Rosie O'Donnell now, but she's an obstetrician
She's the town
gynecologist.
GP.
Is she? I saw like gynecology textbooks. I thought she was more explicitly...
Okay. She's a doctor.
Baby doctor. But it is, yeah.
I enjoyed the moment in the limo.
She probably does
she's-
some other
where
stuff
she's
as well.
driving the limo to the hospital.
Yeah.
And so, that's enough screaming now. I'm
Yeah.
driving. Shut up.
That
We're
is
on our
funny
way.
that
And
she's
then
the opposite.
She's
Yeah. I feel like you need to be in the back, mate.
so good.
The other one grows up to be a science fiction writer and dress like H.G. Wells. She looks brilliant.
Demi Moore.
No, yes, it is Demi Moore. What is she in?
Demi Moore.
Yeah, Demi Moore's a name that exists in my mind. Like, oh yeah, that's Demi
She's
Moore
been
over there.
married to both Ashton Kutcher and Bruce Willis at separate times.
Oh yeah, those films.
They're the films
She's an
that
actor, right?
yes. I don't know. Lots like things.
See what I mean?
Things.
See what I mean?
I'd get her. Like if I was to name films, I'd probably name like Penelope Cruz movies.
Okay.
Like Demi Moore strikes me as a person who could have been in.
She's done a lot of
Sodor.
Penelope Cruz movies.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. And then the other one.
G.I. Jane. She was G.I. Jane.
Okay,
Nailed
nice.
it. Nailed it.
Well done.
One film.
Yeah. That's all she needed. Been riding high off that ever since. And then the other one, Chrissy, she grows up to be sort of housewife, homemaker. She still lives in the house with the treehouse and stuff. Anyway.
Took a while to have kids though.
They made it. Yeah, true.
It's been 20
Been
years.
sleeping on that. Yeah, with a guy that she met when she was 12.
Yeah, with a guy who hit on her while her friend was fighting someone else.
Well, that's what's so great about this friendship group. There's rich diversity and they have different priorities. Now, yeah, they make the pact they're going to come back together whenever they needed each other, which again, too vague. You at least need to live close to each other.
Yeah, the pact from Stephen King's It makes much more sense. If it comes back, we come back.
Yeah, very specific criteria. We're not just coming back anytime one of us is having a hard time.
Yeah, or anytime a kid dies in town.
Because
Because
this is 1970, that's going to happen a lot.
Yeah.
They're going to fall out windows, out of trees.
there's murderers.
They're going to vanish. Old Petey's going to
But if
nab
a whole
them.
lot of them start happening within a series of a couple of months/weeks,
The rule is more than 4 kids in 1 month, then we come back together. Yeah.
Pennywise is back.
But
But these chicks, they
they're
like
like-
being vague about that.
Yeah. I mean,
When one of us needs all of us,
yeah.
we'll come back.
But she's having a baby, but it's not a crisis. She's she needs to be homeless and having a baby. And they're like, okay, we're getting the crew back together. But her life is fine.
Yeah, I thought the reason they were back is her husband may have died and she's having the baby, or he's left and she's having the baby. She's alone having
That'd
this
be
baby.
good. It's octuplets.
Yeah, they don't know who the father is because she's been having a great time, and
Yeah.
that's great.
Yep, something like that.
Yeah, she just needs her friends.
Because it feels like, so we were all best friends. We will love each other forever, but we are never going to see each other unless things are bad. Why don't you just agree to see each other once a year, and you'll probably mop up most of the times when you need each other. You're like, well, I'd love to see them, but I'm seeing them in a couple of months, so we don't have to all rebook flights again now. We can just leave it till then.
Yeah, come meet the child
That's my advice.
after it's had its time.
That's what I
to
would
be
do.
cleaned.
But otherwise, it's too undefined. Anyway, they reunite in Shelby, Indiana, in Gaslight Town.
Yes, ready to be gaslit.
Yeah, and the one girl, she turns up in a stretched limo. Screw you, man. You didn't have to come in that. Come
Yeah.
in anything.
No, she hella rich. Got to be in the limo. She can't drive.
Well, then just get a cab.
Yeah, that's her cab.
Tell you what, people get one People's Choice Award, and it goes right to their heads.
I like the logo that they had on the People's Choice Awards, which was just 2 hands almost grasping each other. It's like,
Is
the
that
people have chosen.
The logo of the neighborhood.
No, of the People's Choice Award. When the camera came across
yeah.
it in the credits, it's just 2 hands gently grasping
That's
each
the
other.
symbol of the people.
The people have chosen.
United
They chose you.
in a game of Red Rover. And they all kind of vibe for a while. They're grilling out the back. And yeah, there's this tree house. This tree is it's a house in a tree.
It's in super good nick for 20 years
sorry.
worth of time living in a tree.
Yeah, but it's so big. That's one of the things where if I'd seen this as a child in the 90s, that would have burned into my brain. It's
like Troy Bolton's
that's
treehouse.
possible. Yeah.
Troy Bolton has a badass treehouse. It's very cool. Or the treehouse from the movie Jack, starring Robin Williams. How
Also,
those dudes
yes.
with, like the several story thing.
I wanted a tree house so much.
Same.
Didn't even have a tree.
We built a tree platforms in several different trees, but they never had walls or roofs. They were just platforms in trees.
Yeah, or windows.
Yeah.
Or bird
Or
feeders.
a balcony.
Yeah.
With railings and ladders and shit. You climb the tree to get to your tree platform.
Yeah. It wasn't the kind of place you're going to climb up into with your 3 adult friends and your baby to have
No,
a...
there's not going to be open French doors and all these cushions.
Yeah.
Imagine
See, that's a girl
if you have your
treehouse. They know what they're
treehouse,
doing.
Your Better Homes and Gardens treehouse that's set up for photos. What if it starts raining? You got to run out there. You got to close those windows up. Otherwise, all those cushions are going to get moldy and disgusting.
Yeah.
It's yuck.
Yeah, it looked very new. But good for them.
It fell down. And she's like, oh, all the girls are coming back. I need to get the treehouse back. So she bought another one, got it installed.
They won't notice. So we flash back to the summer of 1970. Not really sure why. And they're like, started out like any other summer. Americans have a relationship to summer that
we don't have?
No. I mean, partly because our seasons are backwards, so summer is Christmas. But like they talk about summer like it's a 3-month trip somewhere they all take every year. And they're like, it's the song of the summer. It's the drink of the summer. You remember that summer? I don't remember any specific summers. I remember years of my life. I remember times. I don't remember that summer. Like I'd never sensed summer like beginning, and then I guess I had English summers to begin with, and then I had fuck off Australian summers. So it's all over the shop. But America, at least in their collective imagination and in media, summer is something that is a real event every year, and no one's doing anything else except summer stuff.
A lot of them go to camps too.
I've been very jealous of that my whole life. Yeah.
Like going to camp is something that we didn't get to do.
No.
I don't know if I would have enjoyed it.
No. See,
like,
I don't want that.
If you were ingrained into it and it became a thing, like, yeah, camp would be cool. But if it's just, hey, they've started this camp, we're going to get rid of you for 3 weeks.
Yeah, you have to stay there all the time.
Like, no, Mum.
I can see myself liking it as a parent.
Yeah, as a parent.
I think
no, Mum, I don't want to do that.
Genius idea.
Give my child to some complete strangers.
Give my child to complete strangers.
I've seen many horror films about murders.
It's the 70s. What's the worst that can happen? I'm sure the institutional protections for children are as strong as they could reasonably be. Get out there. Yeah. What's that Scouts Honor documentary on Netflix? It's very concerning.
Is it like Scouts here or Scouts there?
It's Boy Scouts of America.
Okay.
But yeah,
basically,
it's not funny. It's a horrifying story, but it's worse than I thought it was gonna.
Oh Jesus!
Okay, this is all I'll say on it.
Okay,
because it's not funny.
No,
it's devastating. Boy Scouts of America is worse than the Catholic Church.
What?
And the Catholic Church is a global organization.
Fuck that shit.
Apparently, Boy Scouts of America is worse. They declared bankruptcy in 2020 because of all the lawsuits. I didn't realize that. Everything sucks.
People are shit.
People are awful. But not in this.
Not in this film.
Not in this film.
You meet not one awful person. You meet a couple of shitty kids.
You see some people that are going through some stuff.
But they're kids.
And it's fine.
Yeah.
We're just remembering 1970 and it's all fine and fun.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what do you say?
That glaze is at the start.
I'm struggling to know what to talk about here because we can go through what happens.
But not a lot does.
But nothing actually does happen.
I want to start.
And that's fine.
Early on in their journey over the summer, they have a seance in the cemetery.
Yeah.
It's made clear that they've done this before and it's never worked.
Yeah.
One of the girls is like, I want to talk to Marilyn Monroe. And like, we've tried that before. She doesn't want to talk to us.
She said that explicitly.
She didn't answer. Obviously, that means she ignores us. So they pick a random gravestone.
She's mean.
In the cemetery. This is middle of the night, by the way. They pick a random gravestone that says Dear Johnny. Not someone's name, just Dear Johnny. And all I thought was like, okay, so some random war like a guy who died overseas sent a letter to someone here.
Yeah, like a Dear John.
A Dear John.
I thought it was I thought it was a Dear John thing.
And it turns out it's not that. But Dear Johnny, they pick this gravestone and they're like, I want to talk to this guy. And then one of them fakes it and she's like, oh, he's here, he's talking to us.
So it's just like crazy. These 12, they're 12, they're explicitly 12, this whole storyline. They all sneak out of their houses at night. Parents have no idea.
Go to the cemetery, which is in the middle of a forest.
They go to a cemetery in the middle of a forest and light candles and do seances.
Fuck yeah.
These are cool kids.
Uh-huh. That's the 70s.
And you just...
See, that's why you remember summer so much, because you fucking did terrifying things.
Yeah, I guess I just didn't do anything memorable enough in my summers.
I've never tried to commune with the dead.
No.
It never occurred to me to want to commune with the dead.
Yeah, I'm embarrassed now. It never even occurred to me.
I didn't know it was a thing you could do.
I didn't even think to try.
I still don't.
Yeah. Yeah. So they're all into witchcraft and seances and tarot reading and stuff.
So they talk to Dear Johnny. It doesn't work. And then... surprisingly, it doesn't
You say
work.
that.
But then immediately...
It rains.
A single lightning bolt crashes into a tree nearby and it starts flogging down out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's raining.
And they scream and they run, but then one of them sees something in the distance behind them. And she's like, there's something there! And they run. And then they see... Crazy Pete?
I think it is Crazy Pete.
It's just Crazy Pete. And he's just riding through the cemetery at nighttime.
as we called him, Cemetery Man. Crazy...
Just riding through the cemetery in the middle of the night. As you do. As you fucking do when you're an old dude. I'm gonna.
Yeah.
When I'm old, I'm just gonna ride through the cemetery at night.
That's very on brand for you.
Thanks.
Yeah, so Crazy Pete, he's sort of the Boo Radley of the story. Looming over the story. But Boo Radley had the common decency to be creepy in his house. Pete is out and about every night.
But he's creepy
just
at nighttime
creeping
when he
around,
knows people aren't out.
Creeping in cemeteries. I mean, on one level, if you're walking around the cemetery at night and Creepy Pete is there, it's a kind of on you at that point.
If you want to be scared,
he's like,
that's your fault, bro.
It's nighttime. This is when I come here to do my creepy stuff.
Why are you here?
To do my nightly vigil.
Imagine Creepy Pete getting terrified that there are people in the...
He walks over.
Children.
Could you guys stop doing seances? Because it's actually starting to really weird me out. And I'm trying to do my silent bike riding.
He's got mud on one hand. It's like a dead bird. This is weird.
This is my feather collecting time. And I'd really rather you children weren't here.
This is where I come to collect dried out flowers. I make potpourri.
Yeah.
This is the cheapest way to do it.
Yeah. And then I put all the potpourri in a smell-proof container and put it in the cupboard because the world doesn't deserve it. Anyway, the film. So that's something that happens. And then, like, the grave breaks open or something. They go
back the next day
to
put Johnny to sleep or to say sorry or whatever it is.
Yeah,
and the headstone is cracked.
And they realize they've risen him from the underworld.
And so they need to discover who he is.
And scary birds are flying around. Like as I said,
at this point,
for a world where nothing supernatural is happening, they're having very bad luck in terms of all the coincidences. Like, this isn't kids, making leaps of logic. This is all genuinely scary stuff where the only reasonable conclusion is we have risen this man from the grave.
Yeah, this dear Johnny.
And he now stalks the town.
Here's Johnny.
Yeah. Yeah. More like here's Johnny, you know what I'm saying?
And he's going to stalk the world and make bad things happen until they discover what happened to him.
Yeah.
So that they can set him at rest.
Wouldn't you love that?
And that is a premise for a great horror film.
You would just never have felt more alive than at that moment.
Trying to put someone back to sleep.
Trying to put someone back in the grave. You're 12 years old with your mates. Cycling around. Also having feuds. So there's an ongoing feud with the Wormer boys, led by Head Wormer.
Yeah, I think that's their surname. I think they're all brothers.
Okay.
Odd.
Did you recognize the main one?
No.
Played by Devon Sawa, who also plays the human form of Casper.
Holy fuck, he does.
Opposite,
Holy
Christina
shit.
Ricci.
They're best friends. They get to kiss in 2 movies.
Yes, this is their second film together.
Oh, was Casper before this?
I don't know. This is either their first or second film together.
I think Casper's after this because she's older in Casper.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's that.
Dude, did 2 films. Nice.
Yep, did 2 films. They're feuding with the boys. So I guess this mystery is kind of the spine, because everything else that happens is sort of
to investigate Johnny.
Yeah, one of the big things they have to do is they have to go to a library in another town, and they're like, "There's no way we could cycle that far." And they're like, "Okay, let's cycle that far.
Let's just do it."
And they're just having a good time.
Fun. They have a little bit of a picnic on the way.
They pull over, like they get burgers. She's got the radio on the bike, so they're listening to music. They're having a good time.
Very cool.
They go to the lake. They all fall into the lake. Don't even worry about their phones.
It's hilarious. Imagine not worrying about your phone. Life just seems so much easier.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't push people in pools and stuff anymore, can you?
We lived that life where we could.
We
did. We did that.
We were the last people.
Uh-huh.
We were the last people in history. Until in about 70 years when it all goes away.
Yeah. And then you'll just be pushing people
but then there's no pools. Then you just pushing people into the acid sea. Yeah, and I was having a good time. Yeah, the boys are there. A lot of naked children in this, probably more than I would have.
Yeah, more than I thought the
for.
90s would have liked, but apparently.
But I guess
things were lax.
I guess it's fine. Yeah, so they creep up. They see the boys who are swimming. The boys are naked. They're like, ooh.
We saw his thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, she says, I saw his penis. Pause. And the balls.
And then one of them was like,
fair enough.
I'm going to look, but I don't want to. I'm just doing it.
Of course you don't.
Because of the peer pressure.
Yeah. I tell you what, if you saw the penis and not the balls, that's a very unique situation. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
This is all very strange, this stuff.
Is very strange.
They're talking about the size. And they're like, it wasn't very big. I'm like, oh yeah, they're in the lake. You're swimming in the lake.
And they're all just 4 dudes being naked together.
It's just four guys being dudes.
4 brothers being naked together.
It's the 70s. It's different.
It is different.
It's different. Can't do that now.
You really can't.
You know why? Because you're on your phone.
Yeah. Your phone's always watching.
Yeah. Your phone. Yeah, exactly.
Can't be naked around your phone.
And then the girls steal their clothes, and it's a whole big thing. So it's a total victory for the girls in that situation.
Perfect prank.
Perfect prank. Don't push it too far. They drop the clothes at a certain point. Because I was like,
I thought maybe just drop the underwear and ride off with the clothes, because the dudes did like water bomb them earlier.
They did water bomb
in the
them.
summer, so they did have to get back at them.
Yeah.
I thought, give them their underwear back, make them return home in their undies.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's good. It's decent.
Yeah, or underwear and shirt.
Nah,
equally embarrassing.
it is
Just
equally embarrassing.
pantsless.
Just shirt.
Just
Shirt socks. Shirt socks.
Shirt socks. That is the worst one. At that
You
point,
can make yourself a nice little skirt out of a shirt.
when they leave you shirt socks, you're like, do I even put the shirt on at this point?
Because none of the shirts are long. They're all like short midriff shirts anyway. It's
fucking-
the 70s.
This fucking Winnie the Pooh motherfucker wandering back into town
I'm home. On his bike. That'd be uncomfortable.
on the bike as well. You're like,
That'd be so
I'm pushing the bike. But no, I need to get there fast. I'm standing up the whole time. Anyway, so that's that whole bit. This is all on the way to them to get to the goddamn library.
They've been swimming. They dry off while riding the rest of the way.
Yeah, which you would.
And they get to the library. They're reading the newspapers to discover the mysteries of Dear Johnny.
Yeah, and what was it? They found some information about him.
They find information about Christina Ricci's dead mum.
Yeah.
And then we're made to
So
find out that she was just told that she died instantly in a car crash a while back, but the newspaper tells her that she suffered for a little while.
Yeah.
And that would obviously affect
That's
you.
very upsetting.
Then they find stuff about Dear Johnny, and they find out that they find out that a kid named Johnny and his mum were murdered.
Yeah.
And that a guy named Pete, and we've heard about Crazy Pete previously to this, so obviously you make that connection immediately.
Yeah.
A guy named Pete was the father, and he returned home to find them both murdered. The only theory that the police pose is that a burglar came in, found out people were home, shot them, and left.
Yeah.
That's the only theory.
Yeah. And immediately, you're like, well, I think Pete murdered
Pete definitely fucking did that.
Yeah.
Or the cops did
like-
that. Or the fucking cops
A man
did that.
named Pete, known for night cycling, was recently
I think
struck by
he took up
tragedy.
night cycling after his family died at night. He doesn't want to be in the house while it's nighttime.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, because it reminds you of your crimes.
Yeah. You have to escape. Don't leave town or anything.
Yeah.
just ride around creepily.
Such a payoff. Like, they picked that grave randomly.
I know.
What a payoff.
So good.
The odds of this all coming together. Again, absolute dream. Like,
It's good writing. It's good writing.
like
No
they
wonder she wrote for Mad Men.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Well, directed.
Oh, is the writer from this is the showrunner for...
Pretty Little Lies.
Pretty Little Lies.
The director directed a bunch of Mad Men and Homeland.
See, it makes sense.
Like, all these kids, like, they should be depressed when they get older because nothing will come close to this.
No.
The thrill of this mystery and, like, having a payoff for it. Life isn't like that.
No. Would it be kind of like, you know how there are those people who high school,
tell me
high
about
school
it.
was the height. High school was
Yep.
the thing. They talk about high school or
Yep.
college maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were the best days.
Yeah.
It'd be like that, but worse because you're children at this point. Or do you just become a cop so you get this all the time? If you solve mysteries as a kid, do you then become a cop? Do you have to?
You know, sometimes I think about I should have just been a police officer, and I know ACAB, etc. But just to be a detective, sometimes I'm like, maybe that's the only.
It's the only way to get this.
Because, like, yeah, it's
You
the only way
already
to
know
feel
that
rush.
so much horrific stuff happens to people, and you find out about it in your regular life anyway. You're not protected from it because you're not a detective.
Yeah, and I know they don't seem particularly happy or anything either. But you'd have moments, of payoff, and maybe that's what you can ask for. My favorite bit in this sequence was when Roberta gets upset about finding the information about her mum, and she like tearfully photocopies. But there's like this weird old photocopy in this massive book, and she's like heaving this book around while crying.
It was pretty good, yeah.
Has to be said, and we haven't said it yet, these 4 kids are excellent. Like, I was not engaged by the story at all and wasn't particularly enjoying it. But I personally think all of their performances were great.
I think the worst actor of them all is the character who grows up to become an actor.
Yeah. Well, she's kind of the least of a character, really.
Yeah.
She doesn't have a
She
thing.
doesn't get enough. She doesn't have
Thora
an emotional
Birch, and then Melanie Griffith. Yeah, she's just sort of there.
Yeah, and
the
I
whole
think
time.
her emotional arc has already taken place because it comes to light that one of the girls' parents are splitting up, and she just doesn't like her parents anymore because of that, understandably. And then she's like,
That's.
"Do you like your parents?"
That's Samantha's parents.
Samantha's parents.
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Do you like your parents?" To the blonde one, and she's like, "Nah, I don't even know them. They're probably dicks." Like, you already had your emotional arc.
I don't really think about them much.
Yeah,
I've
I
emotionally
don't-
disconnected from my entire family,
I don't know them.
and I'm fine now.
I'm okay.
I'm actually going to be the richest one of all of us. I'm going to I'm going to be the people's choice. None of you losers. Yeah. So that one's Samantha, played by Demi Moore as an adult who's been in one film, and
Yes, G.I. Jane.
child is played by Gabby Hoffman, who I know very well from that TV show Transparent. Remember that with Jeffrey Tambor, who plays a trans woman? Never saw that? Excellent show. Ended kind of in disrepute because
Is the
of
parent for parent?
Tambor's behaviour.
Is
Well, it's many meanings.
Okay, that's cool.
It's just called Transparent. But yeah, Gabby Hoffman is in that as you might expect in the 2010s, an adult.
Whoa.
Yeah. So
Wow,
that kind
time.
of blew my mind
My
seeing
God,
her in
time
this.
is linear.
And then we've got Christina Ricci, Rosie O'Donnell, fantastic pairing. And then Chrissy is played by Rita Wilson as an adult, who's I recognise her.
Rita
face.
Wilson's in quite a few things. Namely, she's married to Tom Hanks.
You nailed that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Tom Hanks.
Well done. Big collector of typewriters.
Tom
I learned
Hanks.
that recently.
Not Rita Wilson. Well, by extension, she probably buys it.
She's around a lot of typewriters. Yeah. And
I mean, I like typewriters, but I would only ever really need one
yeah.
because you're not going to use several.
Nah, but
of
once
them.
you get into it,
Yeah.
they're different.
You can't buy one Lego set.
You can't.
You have to have more.
No, you can't buy one because it's lame.
Excuse me? I don't own Lego, but
No, I
it's
just
pretty
thought
cool.
I was going to piss off the Lego fandom. Lego's stupid.
All of our listeners who have Lego.
All the Lego people. That's probably
Sam only says that because Sam hasn't built Lego in too long. As soon as you build some Lego, Sam, oof, that's why I want to build a train set instead.
out of Lego.
No, just a train set.
Just just whittle
Yeah,
it.
it's much more weirder to have a HO scale train set.
That is weird. Yeah, that's much more serial killer coded.
Yeah. Lego is too mainstream.
Yeah, Lego sort of Big Bang Theory energy. Yeah. And so Chrissy, Rita Wilson as adult, played by a child as Ashley Aston Moore, who I was very upset to learn this. I only looked it up at the end of the movie. She passed away in 2007 from a heroin overdose.
That is horrible.
She's great in this.
Yeah.
I think she was great as well. I feel like her character is meant to be fat.
I think
in
she's
this.
meant to be the fat one.
She's meant to be the fat one, which
She's
I
just
own.
like a regular kid, though.
Yeah, I'm just picking that up from context clues of her like eating a lot in scenes where no one else is eating.
You know, if I don't eat every 2 hours, I get nauseous.
Yeah, but I'm like, that's not a fat child. Oh yeah, because I read Kirsten Dunst was offered her role, but didn't want to quote unquote ruin her figure to be in the movie. So Kirsten Dunst would have had to gain weight to play this normal looking child role.
Why not just change what the fuck?
And it's just completely unnecessary to the storyline as well.
Yeah, but also this young girl looks a lot more like Rita Wilson than Kirsten Dunst does.
True. If you're having to cast children in a story, don't write a fat one.
No.
Because whoever you cast, you're going to mess with their head.
Would you like to play the fat one?
Yeah.
Oh.
Write characters, and then if an overweight child auditions for it, you might cast them, and like, well, that's that now. But don't write character description.
Chrissy, the fat one.
Yeah, bit of a.
She likes to eat. Bit of a chunk.
Push him over, bounces right back up, if you know what I mean.
It's like, literally Chunk in the Goonies. That guy had a bit of a weird life after playing Chunk.
After playing Chunk, well, yeah.
Do the truffle shuffle.
How do you bounce back from that? Well, quite well if you're Chunk, probably. But
They write themselves. They
write themselves. Oh, okay, fuck. Okay, we're getting through this. But then cycling back from the library, this is the best bit of the whole movie. This is a very important part. This is where Brendan motherfucking Fraser is in the film. He's in it for one scene, uncredited.
Uncredited? Yeah, I didn't see his name.
He is uncredited in this film. I don't, because he's such a just a cool guy, just a ghost in the night.
It's actually one of the best scenes in the film.
It is.
Because you see
it's completely apart.
The girls being girls that clearly want to be adults.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just being a dude. He doesn't do anything creepy. Doesn't do anything weird. Offers some advice. Has a chat.
Yeah.
And then they go their separate ways. Live their life. He's a dude who's back from Nam. Got shot.
He's a
got
Vietnam
sent home.
vet. He looks.
He's just
awesome.
a vagabond.
He looks so cool in this. I love his look.
The little bit of 5 o'clock shadow.
Little bit. I think is this first real facial hair we've had on a Brendan.
I think it is.
As Emma pointed out, he's got the Rick O'Connell hair at this point. I think it's the first time we've really seen that hair. He's looking. I'm a big fan of the hippie influences, but overlaid over still some military items.
He's got his army pants and boots.
Army pants and boots.
Whatever he wants on top.
But then he's hella layered up top, like vest, Hawaiian shirt, denim jacket, badges. He just he's
very cool.
Great layering. He's limping along. And he just hangs out with this group of 12-year-old girls for a while.
Well, for about 5 minutes. Offers them a cigarette.
Yeah,
they take it.
Gives everyone cigarettes, drinks all their soda.
I love that. Would you like a sip? Gives back the empty bottle.
Yeah, and he plays this, I think, in a really, really interesting way. He's not over the top. He's not overly.
At the Fanta bottle as though he's never had Fanta. He's like, oh, that's not bad.
Maybe they didn't have Fanta when he left. Who knows when Fanta started?
So cool.
And he's not sort of overly grizzled.
No, he's not.
He's not playing it crazy. He's just
playing it. He also doesn't
it.
come off anti-establishment. He doesn't come off too much. Like, he's not there to be like, the government shit, your parents are terrible, fuck the world.
Yeah.
He's just going about his life, passing through town.
He's someone who's traumatized, but isn't in despair. He's just making the very good point, which every child should learn as early as possible, that like your parents aren't going to be right about everything. Just because they're adults doesn't mean they're always right. Often the opposite.
I like to picture now Brendan Fraser's character having this chat and then leaving and then living literally the first Blood movie. It takes place just up the road.
Yeah.
Like 2 towns away.
He just loses it.
It's just First Blood, and he just loses his shit and turns into a massive action hero and then goes to Iraq and kills 300 people.
And becomes the most successful sniper in the history of the US military.
Like the third Rambo movie, he kills close to 300 people in it. It's so, like, he kills no one, and then like 70 people in the second one, and then a full fucking army.
Isaac, you do what needs to be done.
You do. Right? You got to save
if you're
American interests.
If you're John Matrix Rambo, his name is John Matrix. I know. And people look at him and they go, "Hey, Matrix," and we just have to accept it.
That's where the Wachowskis got the term "the Matrix" from. True story.
Anyway,
you heard it here first.
And he's like, "You can believe in yourself if you're lucky." And he has most of a connection with Samantha.
Yeah.
And I guess Samantha, her parents are divorcing. Her dad's
Samantha
out of the house.
Samantha is the narrator of the thing. It's Samantha's summer that she's talking about.
It's Samantha's summer, but also I guess she's kind of lacking a strong father / just male figure in her life. Mm-hmm. So maybe she would sort of latch onto this guy a little bit more. And
I do enjoy that none of them grew crushes on the army dude straight away.
No, everyone's real chill. All 5 of them are very chill this whole time, and they just have a nice little chat
on this abandoned car next to an abandoned barn. It's so picturesque. It's so cool.
Yeah.
The lawn's mowed though, so someone owns the property.
That's what you could do in 1970 as a 12-year-old. You could just ride your bike around deserted country lanes and meet, semi-homeless single men and just have a nice chat with them.
You know what I've never done that they do in
and
films?
Nothing bad would happen.
When we were kids and we rode our bikes around, which we did.
Yeah, constantly.
I never just left my bike lying around on someone's driveway or the street outside.
No kickstand. You immediately pull up and just ditch it into the...
I've never done that.
No, you put it somewhere.
Yeah, your bike either goes close to the gate that you're walking through to someone's backyard or out the backyard, or if you're at the park, it goes where you put it. You're not just going to leave it on the street while you investigate this haunted house.
No.
They're going to get run over. Or they're going to get taken.
Yeah. It is weird, isn't it, how that vibe... And it's not like we grew up in Detroit, It's not like...
No.
It's not like we grew up in a high crime area. It's just a different vibe.
It is.
A different global vibe. Came about 20 years later.
And the vibe is you don't trust anyone else.
Yeah. I noticed this with, like, Back to the Future. I think it's so funny with something like this... They're flashing back to 1970, and it's so stylized. It's like shag carpets for days. Oh,
so cool.
And everyone looks like they're wearing something that you'd buy as a costume for the 1970s. Yeah. It's so stylized. But for when this movie came out, that's only 15 years ago.
Well, same thing with Back to the Future, though. It came out in the 80s, and 15 years ago was...
Yeah. So, but
25.
Like, if we set a movie in 2008... It's not that different. It's just flip phones. Like, there's nothing else. It's like flip phones and people being like, oh no, the economy.
Yeah, but when you make that movie, every single person's going to have frosted tips, spiky hair, 3 popped polo shirt collars. They're all going to be one arming that backpack on one shoulder. That everyone wears board shorts everywhere.
I guess if you really lent into it.
Your brand names are like Rusty or Billabong if you're Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Billabong's still going, though, isn't it?
Piping hot.
Oh, yeah. Remember that?
Yeah, I do. Still have some. Do I?
Please don't. Don't have that.
I think I still have a pair of boardies that say Piping Hot.
Oh, but like really hard to read.
Yeah. Oh, they're old as
it's
fuck.
But it's that intense font where it's like...
Yeah. Like, that pair of board shorts that everyone had that huge embossed weirdness on your ass?
Yeah.
Yeah. So cool.
Yeah, like embroidered.
Yeah.
Like a shape of
they
a
were
wave.
Your good going out boardies.
Embroidered, yeah.
You wore those to the shops.
Yeah.
When you were going to the movies on the weekend with your friends.
Yeah, or like church if it's not
Can
special
Central,
church. Yeah.
When you were getting Maccas in that food court upstairs.
Yeah.
In your good boardies.
Yeah, or like weekday evening.
Nice.
Yeah. And they leave him and she says, whatever you're looking for, I hope you find it. And he's, there's that bit where he's like, I try not to really hang around too much anywhere. And all the girls like, hell yeah, I get it.
That's cool.
100%.
I love that so much.
They're all just trying to be cool. And they all do a great job of smoking those cigarettes as well. No one's coughing.
No. Because
Like,
they're being cool. They're being real cool.
Yeah, but if you don't know what you're doing, it doesn't matter how hard you try.
No, they've just got it lit.
They've
Put
done
it
it
in the
before.
mouth. Don't breathe. Just
Yeah, Bill Clinton style.
yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Bill.
Other stuff happens. Look, I'll say this. This is how, like, this movie has a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 paragraph plot summary on Wikipedia.
Nice.
That's how much shit happens in it.
Well, we're
and one of
pretty
those
close to finishing.
one of those paragraphs leads off by saying, "Meanwhile, the girls get into all sorts of other adventures." And it's that kind of a movie.
It is.
We get back, we know maybe something's going on with Johnny, maybe it's not, we don't know. They play softball. There's a boy who's like, girls can't play softball, what are you doing? And Roberta just beats the ever-living shit out of him. That was fun.
That was very
That was a
fun.
pretty good bit. They go to the Mystic.
All sorts of other adventures.
Yeah. They go to the Mystic and they draw some tarot cards and nothing really comes of that.
Yeah, and she's just a weird fraud.
Yeah, and she pulls the cards and she's like,
A mystic.
I don't really know what these mean. You right?
Yeah, I'm great.
Best bit of that was when they have to pay her money, and Chrissy's like, I can't believe we paid $10 treehouse dollars to do this. I'm like, 100% on board with you, Chrissy. Our problem this whole time was like, they're meant to be trying to save for a treehouse, and
None of them have jobs.
they're not doing anything to make any money.
No, they already, at the start of summer, they've already got $107. They need
Okay.
$23 more to afford
Oh,
this
okay, I
treehouse
missed
that's
that.
going to cost them $129. And it comes in the
Oh.
Sears catalog. And I love that it comes in the Sears catalog. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just go into the store, order this item, they get it shipped to you. Oh, fucking cool.
When I get a house with a garden, I'm looking for trees you can put a tree house in, and my child will have a tree house. I don't care if they want it or not. I don't care if they use it.
I'm building a fucking treehouse.
I'm using it. It's going to be big enough for
It's
me,
got to be big enough that you can hang out with your kid.
and I'm going to get in there and do Legos.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And a flying fox.
Yeah, and then me and that child are going to find some mysteries. I'm going to give them what I never had. I'm just going
You're
to keep.
going to murder somebody
I'm
so
just
so that you can solve it and blame somebody else.
I'm just going to keep leaving news stories about unsolved murders around my child, just to see what they pick up on.
It doesn't have to be
Then
murders. It could just be like
Dad,
disappearances.
Disappearances. Why did this hospital close? That's a good one.
That's cool. Or like old Robert's treasure.
House fire. Yeah, there's a treasure. Yeah, that's probably the safest one, isn't it? I'll start off
Have you
with.
seen, like, there are people, or richish people, who leave treasures and then make poems and clues and then set off treasure hunts? There's some dude who buried treasure somewhere in Yellowstone or Yosemite.
Just decimated the natural habitat.
He just buried treasure somewhere out there and made a poem in, like, 2003, released it on the internet.
Oh, that's great.
And then just people have been searching for his treasure. People have died searching for his treasure. So
Well, that's
cool.
tragic, but also kind of funny.
Yeah.
Hank Azaria is there. He starts dating Samantha's mum. He's back from Minsk.
A little bit too soon for Samantha's mum.
Quite
That's a pretty
soon.
shitty
I
thing.
mean-
Bring a dude home to meet your kids. First date energy.
It's the same summer.
Yeah, and it's
You know?
literally their first date. I'll just come over, meet my daughter.
Oh, yeah, first date, meet the family.
Yeah, that's fucking weird.
Yeah, but
Also, spills a drink on himself, immediately takes his shirt off while the daughter's there.
But like it's 1970, they don't know how to do divorce or dates. No one's been divorced before.
No,
This is all new territory.
it is just beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The advent of our current times.
And so
Roberta
she storms off.
Roberta plays basketball and has her first kiss with Scott Wormer of Casper fame. And he plays that pretty well. He's like, would it be all right if I kissed you? Very, very concrete consent obtained. Not too bad. And then he kisses her and he's like, oh, that was great.
Yeah.
He's doing big like Ryan Gosling, Ken energy
Loved it.
the whole time. Now, what I find interesting about this is that apparently Christina Ricci and Rosie O'Donnell were both very much of the belief that Roberta's character was gay.
Yeah.
I guess partly because she's played by Rosie O'Donnell, even though she wasn't like out at that time.
Yeah.
And the line in the now part one of them says, Roberta's living in sin with her boyfriend. But that wasn't in it when they filmed it, and that was looped in later. So it kind of got changed.
I see.
And I was reading that. I was like, oh, yeah, well, I could see this is, that character.
That's a studio choice.
Yeah. And like, there's a lot of, I guess, kind of cliche stuff, which is very like, she's real like tomboy kind of character, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, maybe that character grows up to be gay, whatever.
Line as well, after she kisses him, and then he walks by the next day. They're like, that's the day she stopped strapping her boobs.
Yeah, that as well.
That's like,
so it
to
is
suggest she like wants to be noticed now.
Yeah. So I was just a little confused because it's interesting that if there was no understanding why they would give that character the only one with a romantic relationship.
Also, Rosie O'Donnell's character is wearing a wedding ring in the final scenes of this movie. Which is
interesting
something I noticed.
Interesting point. So maybe this is all hearsay. Because it's 1995, you won't...
But that's the thing, it puts a glaze over the past. This is literally how Samantha remembers it.
But okay. So it was bad?
Samantha is narrating it. So maybe it is Stephen King's It, but Samantha only remembers this because this is what happened to her.
I reckon, the other one who she doesn't have much storyline, she's probably battling a demon off screen the entire time.
She's literally Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah, but she's just not letting on.
You can't tell your friends. You got to keep that secret identity.
Other stuff happens. Samantha and the mom without a storyline, they go to the treehouse showroom. They give each other best friends for life bracelets.
I love that they go try out the treehouse.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Oh, man, if you could sneak into a treehouse showroom at night, 100% I would do that. You don't even need a treehouse. Just any showroom. Yeah. Just sneaking in places. I never snuck in places at night.
No, it's the 70s. They didn't have CCTV.
Can't do it now. I'll be arrested.
Because you got your phone. They can track you. Because your phone's always on.
My phone's always on.
Right now it is.
Yeah, I'm always on a call to the police.
If I say, hello, Google, my phone's probably going to listen to the next half of our conversation.
And then try and Google it.
I think it's because I said the word hello instead of hey. It hasn't actually started listening, so nice. We're safe.
It's okay. It's still listening.
Well, yeah. At all times.
Then there's the bit where they're cycling home from the treehouse showroom and they go into the storm drain.
Oh, yeah, they give each other
get her
bracelets. And one washes down the storm drain.
And she climbs in like an absolute tool.
So quickly and so easily. Those storm drains are not made for safety.
Yeah, I guess...
They're made to do their job.
I feel like they've changed storm drains now, so it's less easy for Christina Ricci to climb into them.
It's less easy for a 12-year-old because our storm drains, you have to either lift that grate off the ground or the manhole cover nearby.
Yeah.
Those things are heavy as fuck. I could not lift that as a child.
Well, only Creepy Pete can lift it, as we learned in this sequence. So she very nearly drowns, but then creepy old Pete leaps into the storm drain. This is when I was hoping Brendan was going to come back and just...
I thought,
either out from inside the drain.
Oh, because that's where he lives.
That's where he lives now, because he's not doing well.
Well, if it was a supernatural film, he's Johnny.
Yeah.
Brendan's Johnny.
I think that should be our reading.
Yeah.
But Johnny was in Vietnam?
Well, no, Johnny could have just been another soldier who died years ago, and his dear John is
No, they do specify Vietnam.
They do, yeah.
Because maybe he's a ghost from World War II.
Yeah, but he's dressed too new.
All right. Well,
but
look,
Creepy Pete turns up.
Creepy Pete turns up, saves the day.
If we had not met them as adults already,
yeah,
there would have been more tension in this scene being like, she could fucking die.
Yeah. Okay, so the now and then-ness of it all.
It removes any sort of... Like, if it was
but like
now
this
and then,
movie isn't meant to have tension. That's why I don't enjoy it personally.
It's not meant to have tension, no.
I like movies with
It has emotional tension.
Kinda.
But not like... The stakes aren't anywhere.
You're just kind of watching people live their lives, and I think if you can't see yourself in any of the characters, which, I don't feel like I can really do...
You can't see yourself as Creepy Pete?
I guess I have shades of Creepy Pete, and,
You'd love riding through a cemetery at night. Who wouldn't?
Look,
Honestly, I'd actually like to ride through a cemetery at night.
I'd like to give it a go at some point. Yeah. Absolutely.
Maybe not the Nunda one, because it's like the oldest cemetery in the city.
Well, it's too small. You've done a lap of it in a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
But
you need to go like to Wong, where you can get lost.
You can. That one's fucked. They went too far with that one. I think, if you can't, project yourself into any of the characters, then I think you're not really getting anything out of it. Mm-hmm. Which I'm sure is a problem the other way around for women a lot of the time. I mean, I can understand, I can connect with some aspects of their experience, but
Like beating the shit out of the kid who's like, you can't play baseball.
Yeah.
Fuck you, you're a girl.
Yeah.
Beat the fucking shit out of that guy.
Yeah. Love that bit, obviously.
Yeah.
Because
boys
we love
movies for
we
boys.
love violence.
Because we're men.
Because we're men and everything. But like I think the audience for this is people like the characters in it.
I think so.
So if you're enjoying that, then you don't necessarily need tension per se. But if you don't have that, then yeah, there's nothing.
I enjoy the fact
There's
that
not because
I was
it's
hoping
just
for
growing
tension
up.
for the whole thing. Like I enjoyed being like, oh, this could be this. You could turn this into something. Oh, that. Oh,
Yeah.
Maybe she who returns to the thing in the future isn't actually alive. Maybe she's a ghost.
I think that could very much be true. I think they're all dead except the pregnant one,
Nice.
and she's just summoning their ghosts in a séance.
Oh.
The
Because she needs
whole,
them.
the
And
whole,
they made a pact to come back whenever anyone needed
and
each
even in
other.
the afterlife, they're bound by the pact. See, there's so many things you could do. Anyway, creepy old Pete is there, and
Saves the day.
he says, kind of amazingly to me, "Why are you afraid of me?" And I think they give a great answer. They say, "It's weird the way you always come out at night." And he's like, "Yeah, fair enough."
He's like, I don't like seeing a lot of people, and I
Yeah.
don't think they like seeing a lot of me.
Yeah, they're like, "Well, if you were
that's-
less creepy, it wouldn't be such of a problem."
If your name wasn't Creepy Pete,
Yeah.
if it was just Pete, I'm sure
Yeah.
we'd be fine with it.
And then he goes like, "Be safe out there," and he disappears into the night again on his bike like Batman.
Yeah, a truck drives past and he's not there anymore.
Yeah, he lifts his cowl over his face and disappears down an alleyway full of steam and bins. Other stuff's going on. They paint the garage while Chrissy's eating Twinkies.
When she's in that train, though, it's raining heavily. But then she's in the train, she goes to get out. It starts raining more heavily. Just like
Yeah.
a thunder roll, raining more heavily, and then a massive,
Then it's like,
bit of
oh, no,
water.
now it's real rain.
It's proper raining now. Oh, it's got louder.
Flash
Oh,
flood.
shit.
They go to see her grandma because she's old, and they're like, she might know stuff
She'll
about
know,
the past.
yeah. And she does know stuff
And
about the
you'll
past.
never guess she does. And she says, but she refuses to tell them anything. She's like, it took me a long time to forget all that stuff about that dear Johnny fella. So
I'm not going to talk about it now.
I'm assuming she killed him.
Yeah, she's in on it.
I think
It's a whole town conspiracy.
I think she broke into the house and killed Creepy Pete's family.
now she lives in that house.
They go to the attic and find a newspaper. Like, that would take you so long
So
to
cool,
find the
like,
right newspaper.
Imagine going into an attic and investigating shit.
Imagine going into an attic. I loved my grandparents' attic.
They
I went
had
up
an
there
attic.
all
See,
the
that's
time.
cool.
Yeah. Never found anything of any mystery.
In the real world, it's all stupid, boring shit.
You know what? One of
Like
the things
all of
they had
their
in the
home sex tapes and shit.
home sex tapes, comic books. You know, one of the things they had in their attic, an old bus sign.
Oh, cool.
So a bus sign
Like
used to
the
be with a little
stop?
handle
Yeah.
that you'd rotate, so its next destination would come up on the front.
Oh,
They had one of
that's
there in their
so
attic.
Cool.
To this day, I don't know why it was there. It was a mystery, and I never investigated it.
Fuck.
Blah blah blah. They find the newspaper that says they got murdered. It sort of gives us that backstory. Roberta's more upset about her mum. That's when they make the pact. They're always going to look after each other and everything. Then they're like, right, let's finish this. So they go back to the cemetery to try and send dear Johnny back to the underworld from whence he came. And they're like, oh, maybe this is working. And then just Cemetery Man turns up. Not Creepy Pete, man who works in cemetery.
They see a floating headstone.
Floating
of dear
headstone
Johnny coming
first.
through the smoke, and it's floating at them, and they lose their shit.
As
Because
you
obviously
would.
it's a supernatural movie.
But he has a headstone hanging from the front of his tractor.
Because he's delivering it back.
And they're like, but Johnny erupted from the grave. And he's like, no, I smashed that grave by accident with my tractor.
And now I am replacing it
In a
because
kind
it is
of,
my job.
in a kind of that just happens sometimes kind of way. Once or twice a week, I accidentally back into a tomb.
It's very hard to drive a tractor
There's
here.
not
I
a
don't
lot
know
of-
why you would drive a tractor there.
The turning
I guess
circle-
you're the grave digger, but
I think it
most
digs
of the time,
graves.
like, they grow outwards, the cemetery. So, like, you're not digging graves where all the graves are.
I don't know, maybe when people paint a floor and paint themselves into a corner, he dug himself into a corner. And there was no way out except just bulldoze through a bunch of graves. And then he just leaves.
My uncle's a grave digger, technically.
Technically.
He owns an earth-moving business. And
He didn't know that's what it was for, but now and then they put bodies in it.
Part of the earth-moving business is to move that earth. He just drives the tractor to the fucking cemetery every couple of weeks and digs another hole.
I wouldn't say technically. I'd say he just is a grave digger.
Yeah, technically.
Technically.
He digs graves.
Well, it's a reliable business.
You're never not going to need graves.
You never know any graves.
Until the after times, in which we will burn people on pyres again.
To stop them coming
back. And all
back.
of us stand around and just watch our beloved ones. And with respect, they just burn while we watch. And then some people dance behind us, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And
that's how I want to go. Cremated on a pyre. I don't want to be cremated in a box somewhere.
Yeah, Viking style.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. You'll get to smell it.
And time it right so I go over a waterfall.
Oh, so cool.
Yeah. And halfway down the waterfall, just blows up.
But they don't get to see that.
Well, I'd have a camera. So
a POV, a GoPro.
I'd have a GoPro
live streaming the whole thing.
Pointed at my dead face. And then
as it burns and sizzles.
And then halfway down the waterfall, I just get droned. That's
fucking predator drone.
Yeah, it's like I want my funeral to feel kind of like river fire.
Fucking terrifying.
And then the narrator is like, I knew then that our days of making make-believe were over.
Yet they still buy themselves a treehouse and have fun times in the treehouse.
Well, you can have fun time in the treehouse without playing pretend.
Why not?
But there is that time, isn't there, where you stop playing pretend?
Yeah.
I remember that.
What, stopping to play pretend?
Yeah, because I played pretend by myself a lot. And I remember...
I can tell.
Being a certain... Yeah. No one can keep up, mate.
Oh, nice.
No one can keep up. I remember at a certain age, and I was just like, oh, no, this doesn't work anymore.
It feels a little bit odd.
Just feels off. Like you see yourself. You're like,
weird. Like I'm enjoying myself, but
what am I doing?
I'm not allowed to do this anymore, am I? Society thinks I'm weird.
It's not even not allowed. Like it wasn't even a society thing. Like the light just sort of went out, and I was like,
it's really sad. What were you doing at the time?
It would have been Lord of the Rings based.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. So like quite late on in life.
You don't want to go LARPing now? Like we could build that up again.
See, LARPing's fine, but that's it's different. You have to build a whole context for it. I would just walk out in the garden alone
and play Lord of the Rings
and play pretend.
That's very cool.
And then at a certain point, not anymore.
See, I had brothers and we did that a few times.
But I think that it's something slightly different what they're doing in here, because what they're talking about is when you would sort of build those shared delusions with your friends about,
about seances
and something like all like ghosts and stuff. I remember doing that with friends in primary school, and we had this sort of evolving plot that went on for months about all this stuff. We were just lying, but just like pretending that stuff was going on, and there was like this plot we were foiling. Never did anything cool. Never like snuck in anywhere at night or anything.
Yeah.
We were like 7.
I mean, the only places I've ever snuck into at nighttime was my own school.
See, that's still pretty good.
We didn't do anything. We just went there at night to ride our bikes around. In
the building.
I mean, our schools were outside. Like I've been to St. Mary's.
Oh
at
right,
nighttime,
yeah, it was those
up and down the concourses or whatever they were called.
The concourse.
St. Teresa's was close to home, so I went there. But Atherton High, when I moved to the country, it was like 200 meters from our house.
Wow.
So
all those places would have cameras now.
Now they would, yeah.
You'd just be on camera the whole time.
Yeah. Like, what's he doing back again? He doesn't do anything. Why isn't he graffitiing something? We can't get angry at him for just being there.
Why is he writing? Is he playing pretend?
He's not allowed to play pretend.
My locker got set on fire one night.
Fuck.
Yeah,
by
I
Nathan.
remember that.
Definitely
Probably
Nathan.
by Nathan. Mm-hmm. I remember I just walked into school one morning and I walked up to where my locker was, and mine and several others, people obviously just like poured petrol in there and set them on fire. And I just walk up, like hold my little key, and it's just charred remains.
Oh, did you have anything in that locker?
I was just like, oh, okay.
There goes my journal.
I just turned around and went to class and just didn't have anything.
Didn't have a locker again.
And I just sat there. I was like, no,
I actually
they
remember
burnt
not
it.
using my locker at all.
Yeah.
Like
I'd like just put my bag in there. And
all
then
the
take my
things I
books.
needed. I took my bag to class most of the time.
Nah.
We didn't actually, when I got to the high school I graduated from, we didn't have lockers. You just had those fucking bag racks outside your class every time. It was like a primary school, but for like larger children. Stand in two lines, everybody.
Little school.
In 2 lines. Oh, to be young.
Yeah. Never again. Until the next go round, when we get reincarnated.
Yeah, that's a thing. You'll remember this one, though.
Oh, I hope not.
All right.
They're leaving.
They
go, hey, look, there's Crazy Pete being crazy. And he does bring it on himself. He's just standing there for his, oh, hello, I'm here for my nightly vigil. I was looking at some graves. Samantha tells them to go on. She'll catch them up. She picks some flowers, goes back in to see Pete, where he reveals, as we kind of piece together, they were my family, and I've wasted a lot of years being afraid to face people and just not really dealing with this trauma I went through.
He gives her some sage advice. Don't shut off from the world.
Yeah.
It's better to talk to your friends.
Stuff's gonna happen. You can't do anything about it. But don't be a creepy Pete.
And then she proceeds to ignore that for 20 years
and be the girl in her 20s version of a creepy Pete. Well, not really. She goes too far the other direction. It's like, what if I just have constant, shallow relationships that mean nothing?
It's still creepy.
Which is the Boo Radley of today, I guess. Cut to them. They've just got the treehouse. They're having a great time. Treehouse was meant to bring us independence, but it brought us independence from each other. And they separate. Then back to now. She goes into labor. It's all everyone's freaking out. They have to get in the limo to go there. It's a funny moment. The obstetrician in the car drives instead of being back there, as we've established. The baby's born and everything. I mean, just like whatever. I guess some people are into this.
Pops out a baby, as you do.
I
guess some people are into this.
Yeah. Then they're up in the treehouse. There's
with the infant.
Different kids with bikes. Infant is there. They play Truth and Dare. This went on for a long time.
It's like the ending of Return of the King, really. You get like 4.
They return to the Kingdom, and then
the 4
like Samantha saying, like,
play children's games.
I keep running from relationships and whatever. I'm like, I don't know you, Demi Moore.
Mm-hmm.
I know
young you.
I know Christina Ricci. I don't know you, and I don't care about you. Christina Ricci just figured out who Creepy Pete was and made friends with him. I care about that storyline. I don't care about all you grown-ups.
I think I would have cared more about them if it ended in those freeze frames where you go from one character and said, this chick did this, became this, and we get a nice little summary.
Yeah.
This one did this, married this guy, who you met. This guy.
This one became Rosie O'Donnell.
This one became an obstetrician.
This one went to market. Yeah. Yeah, but I don't know, because it's not a true story. So
no, but you can still
I'd just be like, no, they didn't.
In fake stories.
What's the word for that? I was in a bookshop in Sydney.
Yeah.
And these 2 lads walk in. And I don't know if it's just like their first time in a bookshop. And this isn't me being snooty, because what they said, they're like, what's fiction? They're like looking at the headings of the different sections, like, no, so fiction is like made up. It's like not real. So then non-fiction's like real stuff.
Nice.
I'm like, what book are you looking for? Nice. I mean, good on you. Welcome.
How old were these?
Welcome to the guy, like in their 20s.
Oh, that's amazing.
I was like,
so cool.
Welcome to the business, guys. Yeah, you got it. You're cool. Right.
They're starting off, man.
Fiction is not real. Fiction is made up.
Yeah.
But
what a way to start. What a way to begin.
In a way, like, it was funny, but it was also kind of heartwarming. Just these two guys just out in the world, just figuring stuff out. They're like, let's get in there. Fiction's
Demics. Ooh.
Fiction's made up, isn't it?
We could go there.
So what's non-fiction?
I like to picture it as that they both have crushes, and both of those girls are.
I went round. She had like 6 books.
I gotta get her a book, man.
I gotta
do that thing where, you take a girl on a date, but she gets to choose a book for you, and you get to choose a book for her. But I just gotta find it now, just to prepare, man. I just gotta get ready.
Anyway, that's just a fiction-related anecdote.
I liked it. Just like this film. Fictional.
This is just kind of an anecdote, isn't it? It has about as much content as that story.
All right. What did we think? Are we going to rate it? That's wrapped up. The
Then
story.
there's a helicopter shot pulling up and away. Not a freeze frame. One of the first Brendan movies where it's not a freeze frame. It's a helicopter shot. Got to respect that.
Pilot credited.
Yeah.
We don't get to see his face.
The pilot is credited. Brendan Fraser is not. So think about that. So that's Now and Then. Look, I wasn't in the mood, and I probably never would be. But I acknowledge it's quite good for what it is. Emma liked it. It was good to have her there.
I think so,
I
too.
could be
I
like,
think we would have been making more fun of the film if Emma
Woman.
wasn't there.
Did you like it? And she's like, yeah, it's all right. See that? See, I don't have that in mind. I'm like, no, this was boring. Like, it's well acted and it's sort of charming and sweet, but
It's no Stand By Me.
this is not how I want to spend my time.
Like, if I wanted to watch a coming-of-age children's drama, you could watch things like Stand By Me, where somebody's going to die.
Or It.
They're going to see some shit that they shouldn't see at the age that they are, and they're going to come of age.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I want
Cool. Or E.T. How good is E.T.?
E.T.
How great is E.T.?
I mean, if we're doing coming of age,
nobody's going to die.
no.
But there is stakes.
There's stakes,
There's a bit of horror,
there's-
and then you're like, oh, wait.
there's drama.
Everything's going to be okay, but we can now worry about them emotionally.
Yeah.
Because the first few scenes of E.T. are terrifying.
I'm way too desensitized to connect with just the drama of sad things that happen in life.
Yeah.
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 Which isn't true. It just depends how it's presented. But it's got to be presented in a sort of stylized, heightened way. If it's just like, wasn't it
Like
sad?
Marriage Story.
Like Marriage Story. I want Adam Driver punching walls, singing weird old musical songs. Something like that. Marriage Story was good. Okay. This film is good overall. Brendan Fraser, very good. So, starting at the bottom, working our way up. Of the 14 movies currently on the list, we've got Younger and Younger,
Better than.
Dogfight,
Better than.
more like dog shit, Child of Darkness, Child of Light,
Better than.
Perfect Crime / Fallen Angel / Professional Man,
Now and Then. Better than that. Definitely better than that.
$20,
Better than that.
The Scout,
Better than that.
yeah, The Passion of Darkly Noon,
Better than that.
better than that, okay, Encino Man, which made more money,
No,
lest we forget.
I think better than that.
Yeah, it probably is, isn't it?
Yeah. Like, not by much, but this is doing some more things
Yeah.
that are, like, Encino Man is like a music video.
It's interestingly, while it's a movie that probably we most enjoyed by girls of the age of the characters, it's a very mature film, and it feels like it's made.
Encino Man is like some dudes who got a
grown-ups.
camera and like, let's make a movie, guys.
It's more dudes that got a camera, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, Airheads.
I think Airheads is a good movie. Like, Airheads is doing something. It's like, its story makes sense.
Airheads is doing
They're
something.
doing stuff. And it's
good
more for us. It's good performances. Brendan's great.
It's good performances. Brendan's great. Yeah, and
The
then
comedy is comedy.
then above that, lest we forget, is 2 Pauly Shore movies.
Where they deserve to be.
Is this better or worse than In the Army Now? Remember how dumb that movie is?
I do, but I also remember that we chose that it was better than Airheads.
Yeah, maybe we were wrong about that.
Maybe we were, but it's been decided.
Yeah, I'm just starting to get embarrassed by this list.
Well, we can change
nothing-
that right now. No one's going to listen to this part of this episode
No,
specifically.
no one's ever going to hear this except us.
So we could just change that.
Yeah, we can change it anytime we want.
Yeah. Do it.
We're putting Airheads above In the Army Now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that makes
But
more
I
sense.
still think the farm one,
Son-in-law.
son-in-law.
Son-in-law is legitimately good.
Yeah. And
Well,
it's
well,
not, but
it's
it is.
not.
You know,
It's
it is
dumb.
though.
but it's good at what it's doing. I didn't like this, but I feel like this needs to go higher. Because there was nothing in this that made me just think, oh, that's
Yeah,
just
there's nothing
stupid.
in this is bad.
even like
That's
the creep.
the thing, it's not bad.
The creepy Pete stuff. I'm like, well, I don't love this, but it does. It's not.
They don't make
It does tie together quite well.
It's not done as well as the creepy Pete character in Home Alone.
Which one's that?
In Home Alone, his neighbor is the old dude with the shovel,
Okay,
and Buzz tells
haven't
us.
seen Home Alone for a long time.
Buzz tells him a story at the start that he murdered his family and melted them, and now he spreads the salt out on the thing, and it's like the bodies of his family and whatnot. And like there's this creepy old guy wearing leather boots and shoveling snow in the middle of the night. And then for the entire film, you're terrified of this dude until he saves his life at the end and they hang out in church for a little while.
It's a classic trope.
Classic trope. Does the scary old dude a lot better than this film. But also that's a boy movie for boys.
Yeah, and we love boy movies for boys, don't we?
Boy movies for boys.
So this is... it's below Airheads, but above In the Army now.
I think so.
So it's 6th.
I think so.
So
I'm okay for that to be.
The top 6 are Presumed Guilty, With Honours, School Ties, Son-in-Law, Airheads, Now and Then.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's fine. And, and it's very big of us to put it so high.
Since it's not a movie for us.
Since it's a girl movie for girls.
Yeah. And we're boys for boys.
And gross.
Yuck.
Gross because it's for girls. Like, no thank you.
Yeah, we don't like girls.
No. That's what's... classic guy behavior. Okay, and so then the far more important ranking, which of all the Brendans would win in a fight?
This Brendan
He's got a limp.
is a Vietnam vet.
He's got a limp, though.
Yeah, but he's got that possibility of John Ramboing up.
He could Rambo up, but we don't see any of that. He's got a kind of...
he's the hippie kind of...
He's soft-edged.
Okay, so he's not going high on the list.
I don't think he's going that high.
I mean, he's not going low on
He's
the
beating
list.
the shit out of Younger and Younger.
Fuck yeah,
Child of Darkness,
Fuck yeah.
$20 obviously.
Fuck yeah.
With Honours, yes.
Yes.
Dogfight, yes. He hasn't been to Vietnam yet, but he's going. Airheads,
Dogfight's
yes.
going to World War II. No, he's going
it's
to...
Vietnam. He looks like he's going to World War II.
Is it Nam or is it the Korean War? I don't know. Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. I don't want to figure that out.
Yeah. Who gives a fuck?
He'd beat the guy in Airheads.
Mm-hmm.
Would he beat Professional Man?
Oh, that guy's a killer.
He's a killer.
He's
and
a professional, man.
And he can do infinite shiv. What if one shiv, but it has the power of 1,000 shivs?
Yeah, no, he's not going to be that guy.
No.
That guy's got a shiv.
Okay, so he's quite low down the list.
This is a homeless vagabond.
He is a vagabond without the killer instinct.
Yeah.
That's the energy
He's a
I get.
nice vagabond.
He's killed some people, but he didn't want to do it, and he's not a killer. That's the energy I get. Now and then, number 9. Cool. All right, we did it. Join us next time when we might be going to the fucking movies.
Hey.
It's going to be weird.
About fucking time.
Yeah. I don't know how I'm going to talk about a 3-hour movie that I can't take any notes on. I have to see it twice, I think, to be able to.
Twice. We can just talk about
No,
it.
because I'll forget.
Yeah.
You remember everything. I forget it all.
That's okay.
I'm going to be like, Leonardo DiCaprio, he was ugly. Brendan was good. Wore a hat, I think.
Robert De Niro was there.
The main character, the woman, she's very good as well.
That's all we need to say, really.
Join us next time.
We've already seen it. That's basically it.
Yeah, well, if you want to hear us say all that again,
Thanks for coming.
thanks for coming. Join us on our next episode for more exceptional theft of your time.
Nice sign out, man.
Thanks, man. Nailed that, I thought.